Yeah, so I'm pretty paranoid about my audio. I actually was watching. I thought the meters on that last recording, and then it didn't print through. But like I said, this is a sketchy recording device, and I don't want to I don't want to clip it. It's set at 100%. I had turned down and actually, the video before that had a crackle in it. Like I noticed. I only listened to segments of it. I blindly upload stuff, and the guy, that Rimba Dimrim, said that I was a bad trader because I uploaded a bad video. Well, I think that's video production issues. Just because you can trade doesn't mean you upload a video, apparently. So yeah, here we're back, and I did get Bitcoin to zoom in. Once I calmed down a little bit, I fixed the scale on Bitcoin on the daily here. And remember when it was at? I hate to break your heart, and I really am bullish on most things, but this triangle here was a big deal, and it started to go into history. Now, I just get a kick out of the fact that Bitcoin was utterly fascinated with that there was people that bought this breakout, right? It's going higher, right? I've heard the argument. It's trend continuation classic here, but it doesn't quite make it. So if you're a person that draws your trend lines on wick tips, it should be real easy to do it on this. And here would be your classic trend line break, and then it kind of dilly-dallies through it. Now, this dilly-dally stuff is a moneymaker if you're set up for it. So you could have traded the breakout here like a complete idiot. You didn't know the future. Now, don't forget, on this day, you can say that I'm this rimdim saying, look at hindsight. What hindsight should tell you is that there's a trade plan that's really ripe for that. But there's that same trade plan of getting in a breakout, a bracketed market, is really unavailable from a low pip risk, not dollar risk, of, say, let's put a buy stop here and put a sell stop here, whichever way, que sera, sera. Trade. We just let it go. We don't care, right? What now? And what before? So these are real idealistic, and let me just change the color on the one of these rectangles to start playing. Now they do this in powered trading, but the problem there is once you throw in the Fibonacci, you've just blown away the real Fibonacci, which is 0.596, right? 0.596, because there's a skew. If you go to Chicago Board of Trade, you can see the skew index, which I was very fascinated with about 8 years ago. I mean, I was like in love with fucking around with it, because it was like, wow, look at this thing. It looks just like RSI, and I could show you RSI close and show you how it's it's not the channel I want to change. I want to change one of these rectangles, so I'm having a hard time highlighting the center of the rectangle. You got to double click on it, the corner. They just make life a living hell here. You can't just right mouse click in the center. It has to be. So teal's a little bit smarmy. So we're going to go for the green grass at home. And maybe it's different on your monitor, but this way we can say that we buy the green, we sell the teal, right? It's like a aftermarket clothing store. Got some teal shoes for that brown. I make up a. In fact, this should be a chroma scanner. You can just pick up your favorite outfit and just, for girls to trade. Another thing that's cool about MetaTrader, if I overlap these, you'll get like a third color jump out. So you get this beautiful flag, national flag look. And it's funny because I think it's trying to mix like it would in the real world. I don't know if paint really mixes like this in a 50-50 way, but that'd be interesting. So I also didn't turn on my pointer. Explicit here, but another thing to consider is Now, I'm not a big cycle guy, but let's face it. There's a 10-day... There's a guy named Richard Ratchford, and this guy, oh my God. He was a cycle guy, and people used to beat the shit out of him. This is on, like, before there was a blog, there was news groups, and these people would go on. Forget people ripping into me on Calvin. These people put him to shame. And we went on and on. You know, we just had too much fun. Yeah, everybody has their view. Like I said, the last video that had audio, you know, everybody has their view, and it's very passionate for the most part. Because the longer you live, the more you say, well, dude, it got me this far. And I've heard this. He didn't get where he's at by being a nice guy. And actually, if you're a guy and you have to be ruthless and you have to be crude, guys are getting shit done. I mean, they're building the world, right? Okay, women are there too, but most of what's been built. And there is heavy lifting. And this stuff here, I mean, there are setups on here that are golden, but they're infrequent. There are golden setups on here. So I thought if I changed the color of the rectangle, even Rimba Dimba would believe the structure trade here. And that you could sit there and look at your level 2 and go, yeah, look at big boys are coming in. Yeah, no shit. I wonder if there's, and this is like dumbass shit. Do you think there's a 3-day decay of volume? Sure. As this thing breaks out to here and no more new buyers come in, don't forget this last wick is the breakout. The top of that, you buy stops, just like dumb shit ones that never get filled. Think of the dumbest shit trading you could possibly do, like almost unlearned. So go to Zen mode. You start off with beginner's mind. You can't really, if you think, oh, I found the fucking ultimate system, cloud trading, whatever. Don't forget, every one of these things has its downside. You can't take a coarse diamond and cut into Seerga sculpture. You still have to come back with a medium or a fine, or wait till the course gets dull. If you actually think trading's an art, and I've seen these people, the art of trading, blah, blah. Dude, I got 3 books called The Art of Trading. I'm in $180 on that because I'm curious. Now, it doesn't mean I don't know how to trade. I'm still curious to hear, well, how are you trading it? That's why I was eternally frustrated by this rim-dim. Because he was so dim, I was like, dude, you must have a fucking trade. That just lie to me. Tell me you got in at 108, you've been holding long. I'm like, good for you. But most people are honest, I can see that. So he really doesn't want to say that. And I've done videos, dude, endless geometric videos on momentum. And I could do off of highs and lows here. I've actually taken off close in a way because now we have a volatility trend line. If you chart like this, now I could do closing, but I'm over it, right? I mean, I could go back to closing prices and you would be a guy that trades on the clock. Now that's a whole different kind of guy. That's the guy that comes in and bakes in the baker's, you know, if you own a bakery. He's the dude getting up at 5 fucking a.m. and showing up, right? I got 2 moving averages here, high and low, just my secret system. 1 period moving average. And there's a guy doing that. And there's a robot doing that now, right? But you still got to load the robot. Or is a robot loading? When a robot starts to load a robot, then we're on a whole new level, as they say. And could I do trend lines fucking work? Oh, God, yes. Because they identify blow by blow volatility. The problem with trend lines is it's a ton of fucking work. I mean, you got to keep redrawing them. Look at broke trend line, look broke line, broke line. But where are you at price horizontally, structurally? That's why channels work. It's like a perfect drift. I think I did this. I don't know if the audio worked on that one. It's a Wolfram demo, it's called. Go to Wolfram demo and go and say random walk theory. And you'll see 5 apps for free that you can sit there and run through every fucking spawning point. And it's fucking ridiculous. I could draw the same trend lines on that shit. But still, you need to know, how big was that move today on Bitcoin? Could I be a Bitcoin goober? Trade like a goober. Stop entry confirmation bullshit. On the clock bullshit. Oh, dude, it's double top. You don't know it's a double top. Well, you know what? Nobody knows. Put the fucking trade on, shut the fuck up. Put 1K in there. You're like, dude, I'm up on this trade. It's crazy. Don't let it go to your head because you had the balls. I mean, it takes balls. You know, I was so cheap when I traded. I was like I know people, I've met traders, and they're like, dude, spread past 3, fuck you. I'd rather pay commissions, to be honest with you. I'd rather just fuck me even on every trade. Give me a tight spread and just make my life a half pip hell. I'll pay a half pip in commissions with a spread that goes from 0 to 2. Give me a broker this is my dream broker. I guess, you know, maybe it does exist. You have to be in the gold account. But because I can get off on the idea that I'm getting a 0 spread. I mean, who doesn't like that, dude? It's like some girl spills coffee, and you know, I can help you mop that up. It's just kind of a good feeling getting that deal, and that's why all these level 2 guys are all giddy. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Like I was showing that video with the fucking animated dude and girl. I mean, yeah, a chick and a dude, and they're going like, oh yeah, look at, I'm happy. I fucking got a fucking deal. Yeah, right at the edge of the market. I'm only paying $5 per instrument for this high-end data. Have you seen my... Dude, I got like... I don't show this room to nobody. I got 12 monitors in there. Yeah. Dude, they're fucking like... They're plasma. I have to shut them down. It gets hot in there. We go to a scalping room. Hey, anybody want to go to a scalping room? FOMC's coming out. I mean, could you imagine having a team of fucknut, disgruntled Harley Davidson owners? I think we need like little Hell's Angels action. How about those guys that invaded, the guys that drive out to that fest over in the south of Chicago? What's it called? Starts with an S or something. Stuttgart? No. I don't know what the fuck it is. I can't remember. So, I'm astonished. Bitcoin is going to hell in a handbasket. I just can't wait. We're going to fall to 2,500 first. Right? Can we honestly say that in the next 3 months? Just wait till Christmas, dude. He's going to blow your mind. I just saw gas at $3.05 a gallon. Not crude oil. I hate to say it. Could be stepping into that vacuum all the way to 100, all the way to 80. Dude, when it gets to 80, there ain't no fucking resistance. You're cutting into a monster vacuum. So this fucker is like, you're going to cut through. They're going to be talking about 3-year highs, 3-year lows. Gold, I think gold's just done. Bitcoin and gold. You know why? And I hate to say this, but I think if you're going to trade like that, he thinks buy gold because crude's going up, but that doesn't have to happen. They don't move in lockstep. I mean, they should. And if you take the charts, run them together, you're going to be underwater for 2 fucking years at a time, 3 years at a time. I mean, if you don't mind getting split wide open, drawn and quartered by a bunch of rednecks like the Hitcher, the Hitcher's like going to put you on, you know, rev up the motor and put your hot girlfriend in robes. But destroy your nerd evening with all your charts. Honey, you want to see how I bought my Porsche? Look at this chart. And does anybody, this reminds me of a chess game, can anybody see the insane structural, this is better than Gartley. This puts Gartley to shame. Gartley should be ashamed of itself. What a harebrained shit. A bikini. I get it. I get the fact that I'm subliminally attracted to the Gartley because the Batwing looks like a girl. Like it's Picasso's bikini, right? On an angle, skewed. Back to the skew index. Does exist in nature. If the markets are natural phenomena and they're manipulated by people that run out of money, don't forget all this manipulation this guy's belly aching about in these comments and all this shit. Oh, I can see the manipulation. I can see the big aggressive. Dude, when that market goes sideways too long, it's gonna explode either up or down. So that's a high probability trade from a standpoint of your orders being calibrated to the fucking breakout zone. I mean, duh. It's a lot of work. And if you're trading on the daily breakout, you may not want to go to the 5-minute chart because you're going to be like, holy fuck. Now, that's discipline. They talk about discipline trader, and this, you have to accept that you're not in control. Now, I know for people like Rimdim, he's dying so bad to just, oh, I wish I could. I don't know what it is, why the guy swears like that. I mean, I swear. But, dude, you got to have new swear words like cunt dick. That shithead. If you're going to say dickhead over and over, dude, like, you got to be more creative if you're going to be an asshole. This is just a gold mine. In the daily, you got plenty of time to, I mean, granted, you're only going to trade. I got it. There's only 2 trades a month. This is no scalper's world, but you can see you could be in the market for about 3 days at a time. If you can't see the 3-day swing, then maybe you shouldn't be trading either. If you can't count 3 fucking days or 2 days. So, or you're waiting for the volatility to drop down. And don't forget, the guy that had a filter to get in on this low volatility, guess what? He got short late. But if he faithfully executed every fucking day like a true goober, I guess there's nothing wrong with being a goober. They're making all the money, right? I mean, I've seen people with, you're like, really? Why is somebody paying you that? You're an attorney and you're just gonna read something. Oh, you used Nexus, Lexus, or whatever they call it. You pay $180 a month to tap in. And that, talk about a fuck job. No, if you're an attorney, you're paying Lexus, Nexus, or something to get in, right? You're paying a monthly fee, and how deep you gonna go into the data? I mean, you talk about a fucking racket, and you got to have a fucking law degree. You got to have you got to pass the bar. And I thought, pass the bar? You mean get drunk? Like, what kind of fucking? Although I would just love to be an attorney. That's my dream of life, is to be an attorney and just tell somebody, dude, you're full of shit. Look at this fucking law here. I mean, the attorneys are really making some money, and they're complete assholes. So getting paid to be an asshole. What could be better, right? But look at these entry windows. What do we got here? Now this is blow by blow 40 pips. I'll just call it. I don't know what the fuck this thing trades in, honestly. But right here, 2 trigger entries from sell stop. Pure goober. This is right out of the Goober handbook, dude. I'm ashamed to say that, you could be overthinking this, but I would say, confluence-wise, we've got a triple bottom. We fucked support. It didn't happen. If I turn on the closing candles, or the clothesline, which I have to do in black, I think, so I can even see it. And I can't make it thick, which is a big fuck job here in MetaTrader. You cannot make this thick. So that's why I take a moving average 1 period and I fatten it up. This way we can switch back and forth between the volume. I'll set that to black. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's my entry for pending limit. The ask, we're going to set that white. And stops will be white. So I'm going to go binary. Yes, indeed. So if you were trading on the clock, you can see your trades are different. There's no double bottom in closing. It just rips. Rips right into the low here, never makes it to this close. So if you really wanted to take it up one more notch and have more depth of price action. Closing prices are very important because it means that you go down hard one day, then you kind of really don't go hard, and you retest this last soft spot. And right here, I guarantee you there's a RSI buy. You're more oversold, well, than a higher price here. You probably have to go to the half day. A 12-hour chart. This is another thing. If you really are a guy that wants to make a lot of money trading and you don't mind working your ass off, I would take, and I did this all the time, I would take a logical multiple time frame view if you have enough monitors. So if you're dim rim and you've got like 12 monitors, 6, 4, 2, you should be able to get MT5 on 2 demo accounts going, so you can see the tick chart. If you're going to trade one instrument, you can arbitrage and pick a shitty broker. So have a shitty broker and have a scalp. Have the best broker you can find in MT5 for the tick charts. And realize that those aren't tradable because you can't run scripts in MT5. I don't know how to convert my scripts to MT5. And there's nowhere to plug them in. So it's like Windows 10. It's like a fuck job. Do you want to update? And then there was auto updates. I used to auto update. I mean, I was around when MetaTrader would auto update. And then it became like, no, you just got to download a new version. This shit won't connect. And then it was just on and on. Right, on and on. I still haven't figured out what client pipes is. Now, there was a thing called client pipe, and it might be new. I'm like, what is this? Why is it? And you search Google, and you're like, nobody's talking about it. I'm like, I guess it must be secret, more dark pool icebergs. And getting back to the closing prices. It's a different world. Beautiful triangles on the closes. If you think a closing price is the price and the high and low now is like a Bollinger Band, just use all the Bollinger Band rules. You're buying in the envelope and then you just create an envelope there. Now this is constantly evolving shit though. Then I see here, it just popped out at me like, let's say 15 minutes ago. This is a classic in closing prices too. You'll see this kind of structure. What this is a lack of volatility, and you have one more like drift. And you're just looking at, I'm sure it doesn't look any different when you see a shock. So I just was coming home, and this guy in front of my house ran over my fucking pet groundhog, and I had to fucking grab this pet groundhog and throw him in the grass because, oh my god, his mouth's bleeding. Thanks a lot, buddy. The guy in front of me, I saw another dead animal. So what's going on here is, this is my analysis of Mother Nature, is that it's going to be so fucking hot. These guys are going, dude, where can we go? So everybody's kind of scrambling. These furry guys are scrambling because they're like, dude, we can handle the winter, but this is 100-degree shit's coming. They can sense it. And it's kind of fun to see some drama finally, I suppose. Anyways, a little heartbroken about the critters. I also see another thing in here, and this is only for people that really need an excuse to get in the market for momentum purposes. Don't forget all these double tops and failure swings is either loss of momentum, retesting, failure to retest, kind of getting there and not. But the reason why trend lines beat the shit out of moving averages is they're dynamically adapting to a dynamic market. They're dynamically adapting. Because you're drawing them blow by blow as the market. It's like a train wreck. So if it spikes down hard, there's got to be this is also Wyckoff theory, there's a cause for the effect. So you have to be able to perceive the cause in time and in space. So space is the wick. It's a time-space situation. So I know it sounds really corny, but this is the truth of it. Now, from a time structure standpoint, this top on the daily becomes almost this bottom. And this is also the failure for the bulls to penetrate into, there I said it, penetrate into this vacuum. And so vacuums are stacking up, and as the market drifts down, a painful triangle for the people that like wave 4. Does wave 4 exist? Yes. This is wave 4. But this could be wave C. How do we know this is not an extension on wave C? So what's the corollary? If you're Elliott wave tician, it's like just playing music. You got 12 notes. You're going to play minor or major. Okay. Once you go half step, do I go a whole or do I go another half step and fuck with your head? So the market fucks with people's head because it's like, dude, it's a piece of music where when the market's going a zigzag drift, it's like half steps. And that becomes chromatic. And it sounds a little dissonant. A big major move, a big triumphant exit from a triangle, which is nothing more than a wave dying down into an apex of lack of volatility. So if you drop something, it hits the ground, there's the dead cat bounce, dare I say, and then there is the, thinking about my buddy outside there, dead cat bounce, dead groundhog bounce, and there you go. Then there's the resurrection, which would be the coming out of the apex of the triangle. And if you're able to overlap time frames, why go to MT5? Because then you can construct your world a little more organized. You can look at MT5 on your phone and execute trades on your tablet you're just going to get in. Okay. You can see the grid, the appropriate. You have to not only size get down to the smallest size you can tolerate trading. And this is also another reason why people will never trade like I did $3 million in 1Ks is because that's a lot of work to build that position. And some of that actually went in raw. I think in like 33Ks I had it set to. So I've actually taken an account and really made a lot of money trading without stops. And then some guy, unfortunately, said, well, I was trading with this system. No, not really. I was just kind of like trading the shit out of this demo. Like a demo, like I don't care. And the other approach is to trade it like a real account with stops, and it takes a long time to blow it up. If you go in naked, or if you over press the button, so risk of ruin would be if every 15 minutes you hit a button and risk $1. If you risk $1 every 15 minutes, how much are you risking per day, right? $100 a day. What was it, 90? Yeah, if you're risking $10 a trade, $100 risk, right? So that's 100K, but if you only pull the 1K every 15 minutes, it's 96. Yeah, let's say you're risking $120 a day. You're what do you call jousting at windmills? Every 15 minutes, you're like, looks like a good place to get in here. Or you're letting you're risking that much, but you're not getting filled. So you're throwing 1Ks out. Now you have to think about this. This is a real business plan. You'll trade with 10 pip stops. Okay, it's $1. So how many of these do you have to put on to make $20? 20K. So you're trading 1Ks just as a way to not destroy the account. So maybe you get filled on 20K a day. And you decided that you're going to let your 4-hour pendings have a 50 pip stop. But you're not going to put too many of those out there. You'd have to have some kind of discipline and wait for either to decay or make sure you keep track of that. Now that's a whole nother thing. And that's what I really wasn't going to spend a lot of time on a demo doing either. So people would say, if I made money in the demo, they'd say, oh, it's easy, it's a demo. If I lose, they say, look, you blew up the account. But I say, but I am executing trade plans. Even if I blow up the account, you don't understand. I'm executing scripts. I'm not just blowing up the account. If they have stops in there, I'm testing risk built based on those scripts. Now I can run a demo here where I could put in a 50K buy and sells elaborate matrix of icebergs that are set to one instrument, and they only launch for a certain pip trigger of ATR of 1. So this is the dream bot. Right, it's the volatility breakout bot with pendings, with limit pendings far away from the market, based on the anticipated increase in. So if we're in a 20 pip bar for one day, and the average day is 150 pips, that's an incredible window. And you'd have to be prepared to, in essence, load the wagon, or by default let it load its own wagon, because you have bracketed buy stops and sell stops. And woven into that is get the fuck out tickets. Were some break-even tickets commingled in there. But in the end, the complete composite is a triple your money scenario. So there's 5 times your money tickets in there. There's risk 2 to make 1. You're going to have risk 2 to make 1s on structures that you're high probability of fake breakout or initial test into that zone and then rip back. And you could trade that all day long, but you could, anything you do, you can't just say, dude, this clothes on that girl. You can't take her outfit and stick it on another chick. You'd be like, dude, it doesn't fit. If you're going to curve fit, which there's nothing wrong with curve fitting, but do it in the real world. Fit it to your holy grail. Now, I'll get more fills than a guy trading Gartley because I got more excuses to trade. But my excuse is based on waiting till the range gets small. Now, that's not for everyone. But if you're only checking in with the market once a day on the 4-hour chart, or 6 times a day on the 4-hour chart, if you only check it based on your MT5 12-hour chart or your 8-hour chart, if you're running 8-hour scripts, it's too bad you can't see those tickets on your 8-hour candles, or this type of trading here where it's pure lines. I think there's a huge psychological difference between lines and open closed body giant body versus shadow. Right, the shadow knows. So the shadow is the limit order guy's territory, and the closing prices is the end of day trend traders. Huge, as they would say, big money, but it's only big money because it creates big money by the Wyckoff cause and effect. The market gets dead, it's trapped under fair value, it gets into a triangle, it's going to explode. There's drama to come, up or down. And initially, you could make money in the triangle, so you can perceive, oh, we just went down hard. Let's expect ranging. Can we trade the triangle? Oh yeah, just range trade it, and then you're like, holy shit! You can draw a trend line. You can walk away. And these charts here will stay all fucking day. Now I don't know. It's kind of debatable whether you want to project these in the future, but you can if you need an excuse to trade. It'll also alert you to the fact that, hey, you know what? I'll take whatever. So out in the future here, I don't know if we ever got a signal off of this, but look where Bitcoin's going. So we're going through the floor now. And I'm only looking at this is the $10,000 swing. 50% retracement off that $2,000 sheet of Fibonacci. And of course, that's not Fibonacci, but you could put Fibonacci on here, but you're really ruining it. Because now, I say it's better to ray, and what I'm doing is cloud trading. I put a cloud of trend lines into the future. And I was able to fix the scale as long as I'm zoomed in. And here we go, people. As soon as we take this out, and don't forget, Christmas is coming, and Trump is, it's going to be crazy. We get below 5,000. We could start to really pile into this bitch. Don't forget, we dipped into this window here from last year. If we can't hold this price, you're fucked. In a pivot, internal pivot sense. 5807. We're above it now. And so, oh, sorry. This will be the clincher. This one. And so my trend lines. Oh, that's my trend line. Sorry. I thought that was the price. But this price here should be resistance now. This internal. Right here. Right, that's the price. The lows. We're below that. A lot of people are going to bail into that. I got to believe it. Yeah, that's a trend line. So that I'm at this price here. Closing price, or the latest price here. This is a trend line here. This is just too fascinating watching this thing just tank like a whore. This is the closing we bounced off of that window. So yeah, once we get below 5,000, the wheels are going to come off. And what's funny is, I can actually scale this now. Let's look at the monthly. Are you kidding me? And we got this closing price here. Wow, 4,200. People are going to shit. Buyers will come in here like crazy. There should be a nice bounce off of $3,000. Right around $3,000. It'd be psychotic. Yeah. Christmas is coming. Christmas in July. It's going to be insane. Wow. Well, that's as much as I can stretch it. My trader won't let me go past a certain amount of math on that. But look at that weekly. Holy shit. Bitcoin. Bye-bye. We're in danger zone for the bulls as we drift and creep. Wow. There we go. Amazing. We're below yesterday's. We're below this low here. It's like my little groundhog that just got murdered by some 4x4 redneck. I wanted to chase him down and go, "Did you see what you did to my best friend?" Courtship of Eddie's groundhog. So, look at this. I've seen this one. Wow. This is the top inside the bottom on the clock. And we have to pause here. The only hope for the bulls right now is to take out this fractal. But I think we're going to fucking hell, dude. Harley Davidson hell here. Look, we're probing here. We just make new lows here. Watching history, son. We take that low out. Bye-bye. See ya. End of the week. Oh, the weekend. Bitcoin just melts down into Monday. Opens at $5,000. People are like, holy shit. Every goober starts selling the stock market. And that's fresh land. Land ahoy. Can't even see my markings there. Oh, it's going to be ugly. Yeah, I don't think this is going to hold. Hate to say it for the crypto zombies. So let me take a pause, come back, go get some harder drugs. I couldn't wait. Look at this thing melt down. Wow. This should be something else. Very intriguing. This is a big price level down here. So that goes back to the wiki tip. Actually, here it is. Let's scooch these up and be a little more precise. Yeah, at 57.57, I'm liking that. Yeah, that's a... We call those echo numbers, son. They'd be repeating. So yeah, that's a hell of a fucking price. And here we go. Ooh, buyers came in, new lows. So somebody scalped that. Spread's tight, I guess. I don't know much about Bitcoin. Looks like a bad spread, like any spread would be. Like right now, you're underwater still. You bought here. You could buy it again for same breakout price. So here's the moment of truth. And when the guy says, we look at these levels and then we look at the depth of market, level 2, dude, you still got to decide how big you're going to buy this if you're buying and how big you're going to sell if you're selling. And this is what nobody wants to talk about is size. Size matters and money matters, and this is how it is. I mean, this is a cruel fucking fact. How big is your hatchet? Like, if it's too big, dude, you better be accurate because you're going to fucking kill somebody. If you have a little baby, so my buddy, bass player, brought the 3 drones to the party, and the baby drone handled the best. The racing drone was highly volatile, and he had a Franken drone that was made out of popsicle sticks, and he had the biggest battery you can put on that, just duct taped on. It did pretty good, but it was still kind of like the battery was like, you really got to get the computer's got to manage this. I guess you're at the mercy of the processor on there. Camera's fucking itty bitty. But anyways, that's a lot of fun. Here we go, meltdown. And let's watch some 1 minute chart. So I present to you the volatility in the 1 minute chart. Look at this thing just go to 0 spread. You guys also have a spread chart, which would be really cool to see the ask here and the bid there. Now that would be sweet, and I'm sure that exists. I haven't spent the time to get it going, but I think that would be like, make this into the ultimate tick chart, because the tick chart is the only thing that does give you. Somebody said, well, what do you do with that tick chart? Well, what it's telling you is tops and bottoms in the spread. You can see the spread, the bid become an ask. So the guy that thinks he's all clever, all he has to do is rimba dimba. Here's a pro tip: view market watch and turn off all your symbols you're not using, which here I'm using every fucking one. So you hide all symbols, and then you just say, well, give me the Bitcoin chart. So what you have here is the bid, which is what you have here, but this is the high and the low on the 1 minute, which is kind of also an example of the spread changing. So the guy that had the thinker fuck video, you know, this is easier because you can see what the broker is going to give you if you turn the ask on. Of course, the broker has that turned off. And that's why that guy said to me one time, you make more money if you can sell. Yeah, because you can see the sell fill. Right now we can see the sells about to fill. And there's the ask. Now it's going to take a while. I'd have to turn off all the symbols in here to get a really nice tick chart going. I have to go to Evolve Markets. Probably has the tightest spread on Bitcoin. So, you know, and we can see the triangle here real plainly too. You can also see the triangle forming here. Now we have a high, right? And once the ask gets to the bid, we know that we're at that threshold where the guy that sold is right at break even. And this guy on the comments, unfortunately the audio was off, he was saying, he's a real noob, so I don't know, he's angry at his wife or something. But if you read his comments, Look what he says unless he deleted them. And that's what I also said in the videos. It's a good thing I saved those. So he said something that was kind of classic, and that's if you have more data, you'll know what's going on, right? You'll be more, and you won't get suckered in because they're manipulating the market. And I've heard this a million times that they are trying to entice you to get in by running it up. No, you're perceiving it going up, and your fear of missing out on makes you want to pull the trigger. Okay, we just had the ask just overlap the bid, which means that, and so you see when the range on the 1 minute tightens up, the spread's probably tightening up, and you could have bought this pullback here on the tick chart. So I used to trade the tick chart with 3 Ks, no stops, just like Samurai Trader. You could, yeah, you can flip. You can quadruple a count in 2 weeks or 1 week. You could probably do it in 3 days. In other words, the price blast that's pent up, the complete, utter capitulation of a market running out of sellers or buyers and then ripping the other way, the reversal trade. And here we're trapped underneath the floor. Bitcoin's making history. And whenever I say that, people go, no, it's not, because it's not taking it. No, I mean, recent history is really critical because there's a void, there's a hole at the bottom of the sea. So now here comes the ask back into the bid. So the guy that sold here, actually he came back into this bid here. So the guy that sold here is up on this trade. He could have cashed out, and you can see him cash out. Oh shit! I'm stuck in zoom mode here. I just wanted to mark it off. So if the guy sold here and he got this fill, I'm sorry, he sold here, he had to sell the bid. When the ask came below, he's up on the trade, so buyers come in. People cash out. And if you look closely, you see this triangle that just formed on bid? There's no triangle on ask. Like, if you're into patterns, which I am, this is a flag on bid, but there's just nothing but a clean hump here. Now, people with buy stops on this ask, or they anticipate we're going to break that, they just bought this pullback. See, trade the tick chart. What do you do with the tick chart? You trade it. Plus, you can see when people are going flat. Hedge funds are getting in and out. Here's the pivot from the bid to the ask. You don't need to have level 2. You can see this is the floor. Sellers are supposed to come in here. If they don't, we're going to fucking cut like this. If they do, these sellers do come in, maybe we dilly-dally, maybe we still cut up. Maybe we dilly-dally, and we go down. But you can see why it's doing what it's doing. Perfect head and shoulders here on an angle. So these guys are in sync. More liquidity is coming in. The bottom of the hour is coming in. Asia's opening. This is an offset hedge. There's a lot of spillage into Bitcoin. And like this guy, the SEAL Team 6 guy, watch his latest video, talks about the fashionistas. Don't forget, he's one of them. We're all fashionistas when we get caught up in our own, like, dude, this thing's going on the moon. I think Bitcoin's going to $500. Like I said, bounce off 2,500, bounce off 3,000, bounce off all the 50 rounds. But maybe this is the trap. Maybe this is like, hey, you know what? Wave 4 is ending, and it ended all tonight. And I'm wrong. But it doesn't matter if I have a trade plan for fucking this shit. Bottom becomes a top. Don't forget it's a 1 minute chart. You got to get that fucking trade on right here, ride it to here, cover to here. We get the same inflections. The market's doing the same thing, but on the 1 minute chart, somebody said once, I did a thing on the 1 minute chart, they said, can you talk about 1 minute chart? Well, yeah. But you better talk fast because the fucking trade's done. By the rules of top become bottoms, this shit's happening like right here. You can see the breakout. So, yeah, tick chart. I'm anticipating the ask is going to get above here. The bid's going to break out. You got top, bottom, and bid. Could you put a pending here for a buy limit for a retest of that? Why not? Are you sitting long going, dude, as soon as the bid gets above, if I nailed it, if I pull the trigger here, as soon as the bid gets above, it hasn't, As soon as it gets above here, I will be at break even. Here's where the pivot is right now. So this is, you have to remember that you have to pay this red price and you can only sell the blue. That's like I say, if your spread is near zero and you're sitting there with your finger on the trigger, I got it. You're a scalper. You're a Hilton. Most people aren't. Most people aren't going to trade, and I could do it. I've done it. With real and fake money, I've done it countless times. It's just a lot of work. It's tedious. But you can do it. You should be long right now. You're holding. Are we going to engulf? Oh, now you're getting out. You're getting out of something right now. You have to. If you believe this structure game. If you believe this exists, this low, and it's becoming a top right now in the 1 minute. So it's easy to teach somebody to structure on a 1 minute chart. It's expensive. Like I said, if you didn't get out up here, don't forget you paid this price. Trading is hard because you got to make up the spread and the commissions if they exist. You bought this. Now you're fucked. You're underwater again. They're coming after your stop. You put a stop here. And the guy's talking about stop hunts and all this shit. You just die. He's the classic victim of circumstance. It only costs $5. $5. This shit, that did only cost $5. I don't know if that's per month. For his level 2, whatever. So this guy says, Stallion says, using their logic, the more you pay for better data, the more profitable you will be. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Because like the better guitar you buy doesn't make you a better guitarist. You still got to know how to play guitar. Yeah, you can have monitors. You can be like, dude, look at this shit. Like I said, you can take MT5 and organize your life. You've got a 8-hour, you got a 12-hour chart. Are you disciplined to trade a 12-hour chart? Put it up on the fucking MT5. Because MT4 can't fucking do it unless you emulate. Probably an indicator that'll do it. I don't know how to do it. So maybe somebody should do that. But 8 hours, right? It's really when it starts, though, even the 12-hour chart. So I used to watch FXCM. So I used to trade their, I want to say FOMC. FXCM with their one-click system, which was cool because it would actually acknowledge your fill. You go blink, blink. And you knew you got filled on a pending, which is cool. And you knew you got stopped out. And it would go, so it went a lot for me because I was just having too much fun blowing up $100 accounts, $200 accounts. And I really find it quite the challenge. See, the sellers did come in there. There you go. See? So you're underwater on that trade. How do you feel now? Well, that fucking shit works. Look at that. Sellers came in there. Now, can we take it lower? We have 2 minutes left in the 5-minute chart. Well, I don't know. Take a look at that 5-minute chart. Now, you can do the 5, the 1. But you pick an increment, man. Go for like 4, 8. I do like 4, 8, 12, 24. Or what's no, this is it. I would say this is the ultimate time frame. Bifurcation starting from top down. A day, a 12-hour chart, a 6-hour chart, a 3-hour chart. And then that's it. A 3-hour chart is pretty cool. I really like the 3-hour chart. But more trade signals. And when I say signals, I mean there's going to be a market signal and there's going to be a stop entry signal. And if you just kept it to that, if you never traded on limits, but you still traded at the market and you still did goober trades, You'd make so much fucking money. Think about it. You're getting in like just a well-known, like this guy, all these guys that sell stuff and they're profitable. And they take dumb shit, moving average trades, and make money because they got money management qualities. You could be that guy. I don't suggest you zoom out like they do. I don't think you're being honest with yourself. Your system, if you have a moving average system, you should only need this much data and the moving average and make a decision. You don't need to look back, way the fuck back. It's not going to help you get in. Look at the money we're making short Bitcoin. I'm just paper trading it. So, I mean, it's just amazing. More from this comment guy. Supposedly I'm recording. My mic says so. One time I paused and never came back on. I'm just too fucked up. Too many martinis. But yeah, they say never make an argument with a guy that buys ink by the ton. But I got free ink here on YouTube. YouTube hasn't shut me down yet. Then they want to make me have subscribers pay. Maybe that's what I should do. Go for the inner circle. I just don't feel like it's fair to, unless you have somebody that wants to take the brunt of the disgruntled phone calls. I would go for the PAM idea, though, but I would need somebody offshore to set up the account for me. So I'll mail you a Chinese, like a Chinese Les Paul. They call them Chin Pauls or something. Well, they call them Chipsons. A Chipson, they call them. Chinese Gibson. $200 with like a decal for wood grain. But you'd have to really have your shit. The whole idea of that is that two people manage that thing. So you have the U.S. managers so you can trade the 3-hour chart. There's a guy that's going to, like I said this morning, it didn't go down, but you have to keep track of the shit that didn't get recorded. Because I don't want to repeat myself. But the idea that people trade in shifts, I think it's a real good idea, especially if you've got this buy at the market order and you can sense, you've identified this in advance. Way the fuck in advance. I mean, don't forget, right? That you can see the funny thing is, this guy, I think it's a big secret. And only the inner circle, inside guys, the banks. Dude, everybody has the same data as far as where the stop hunt was. And this guy keeps talking about the stop hunt. It's just too hilarious. I don't believe in the stop hunt, but I believe in void filling. So I'm calling it a stop hunt because they're calling it a stop hunt, right? Like if you call this guy a queer instead of a faggot, okay, I'm trying to go with the current language, but I'm not saying that they can see my stop and they're hunting it. Besides, there's stops. If you believe in Bill Williams' parachute, which is true, that if you say, I'm wrong, and you go with the flow, that you're going to make up what you lost. The only problem is in a range, which 80% of the market is ranging, the chances of you getting whipsawed is high probability if you trade in a frequency of every 3 hours. Right? If you say, I'm just going to trade the shit out of it on the 15, okay, well, you're going to overtrade it, and you're going to get chewed up in commissions and spread and stops that are too tight. Now it looks like the buyers are coming in. I would have bought that right there. Here's the top, become a bottom in the bid. So what do you do with the tick chart? You fucking trade it. When it comes like this, you're like, dude, look at this fucking rip down. Look at this top become a bottom. Look at this perfect trend. Perfect line chart. Dude, bam, bam, bam. Lack of volatility. Bam, retrace, bam, come back. Can anybody see this fucking shit? You really need level 2 for this? Forget the 1 minute chart. This is fucking tick by tick. And it paints. These are tick bars. So if you're gonna, the problem with tick bars is you need a 1 pip tick bar. This is it. The idea that you're gonna run Renko or I have a 21 pip. I have a Fibonacci 21 pip bar. Okay, it's smoothing out the data, but you're fucking up the time frame. There are time trades that make a mint. When the market's done filling up the pip bar and coming up with 34 pips or 29 pips, looks really good on the 20. Okay, great. But you distorted any closing trade you could take because the close of that candle is bullshit. It's smoothed out fucking random sectioning of reality. It's like having a film that goes from 24 frames a second to 36 to 59 and just randomly. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't watch that movie, but you can watch closing prices, right? There's a rhythm. Look at this beautiful top bottom here. Look at these motherfuckers come in. You're coming and buying that fucking Bitcoins on sale, son. Dipping into the windows from months ago. Looky here, Jed, come over. Harold. I mean, I always like the hillbilly bears. But Paul. Damn rapping fucking thing. He would like swear. We were cracking up. What the fuck is he saying? Look at these beautiful top bomb and ask. And then, of course, we have to pay this price. We're getting our ass kicked. We have to buy this top bottom and ask. And we're not profitable till, dare I say, right now. I know this looks like an amazing move. You're like, dude. But, dude, you're only up this much right now. And you bought that pullback. You're that fucking clever. Or you bought before. You bought the consolidation. You built a position. Every micro pullback. Now you're up on that trade this much. And it looks like, dude, I should be way the fuck up. I bought. No. This is what it's costing you to put the trade on, dumb fuck. But if you look at the 1 minute chart, you're like, okay, let me take a look there. It looks very similar. And this is just pure bid. But look at the ask. I wish this was painting a minute chart, a time chart. This is your Renko over here. This literally does not have any, like, as the pips come in, if this tanks like a whore and takes out this low, and don't forget the sellers came in here. There's this huge triple bottom here in time, and the clock traders sold right there. Boom. I guarantee you. They sold that. Look at the sellers come in. You can see the effect. You can't see that? You need level 2? You need more fucking shit than that to look at? Blows my fucking mind. Dude, look at the 1 minute chart. Call out the trades for me. It's a piece of fucking cake, but the spread's kicking your ass. You're not even up on this trade yet, and you sold that triple. You sold right. Yeah, you're not up on that trade yet. That white line has to come into fucking that pivot. And when it does, you'll see shit. You'll see shit happen. So yeah, you don't think I know how to fucking trade this shit? Demo or real? Are you fucking retarded? I don't see you talking about the 1 minute chart. Look at the volatility just died down. Yeah, that's come to Jesus moment there. They're in profits now. The structured traders are up. If all they can trade is bid. And I'm sure if we could paint ask, you'd say, well, let's trade ask if we're selling. Oof. Did you see that? How about that? Oof. Somebody just made a little chunk of money. That's right, son. That's what we call aggressive move. I love volatility. Look at the volatility. I should turn off all the other symbols just so you can see this fucking tick chart, what it looks like. Look at that sell-off. Are you fucking kidding me? Oof, it's getting all crazy now. I love watching this shit, dude. This is better than watching any movie. It's better than sex, dare I say. I tell you what, I'm so addicted to the market. It's criminal. So don't talk to me about fucking market. You work at a trade desk and you place big client orders. Whatever. I don't see you trading this shit. Even on a demo. Dude, just demo ball it for me. In fact, I should have a demo balling challenge. Let's see if you can not blow. Let's see you triple a demo account. Most people couldn't even do that, dude. Would you fucking get lucky? Dude, you trade without a stop, you have to get lucky. You trade with scripts and have a fucking brain, you should be making money. If you think you know how this shit runs, you don't even know anything about the market. Dude, you can sit here and you can't sit here and watch this on the 1 minute chart for an hour a day and go, I think I get it. They're butt fucking me on these 1 minute chart fills. Yeah, I think I get. But you can see the same fucking bullshit happens over and over again. It's a sad fucking. So I'm at the coffee shop this morning, and I had to ask. Sorry, this barista has a twin that works in the morning, and she looks like her bigger, beefier sister with tattoos. Looks like she's been working out. And I'm like, is that your sister? I hate to pry, but I hate to stalk both of yous. And I can't believe Starbucks even lets me flirt with the baristas. They'll outlaw that pretty soon. So do you? Oh, no, you mean Jenny? And she's like, cut it out. Like, you're the 100th motherfucker in this level 2 trade that's mentioned this fucking, that we look. I said, well, it's probably a Starbucks phenomena that Starbucks just attracts this one, and we're in a certain neighborhood where I don't want to say there's inbreeding there. It's hot inbreeding, but these girls are both hot and they look so much like sisters. Both brunettes, I think, naturally. And I always joke with the brunettes that, the blondes are dumb, but I'm hoping they're not seriously color their roots right to their brain. Ooh, look at this. Now what's going to happen? Low volatility, I say we keep tanking. Bye-bye, Bitcoin. Yeah, sorry, crypto trader. Oof, I don't know. Bull's got it. Look at that shit. Now, no fill for us. Confirmation, guys. We got a sell stop sitting here. Look at these fuckers come down and get that. We got a doji. What you talking about, son? See the doji? Anytime the market's dead, it's a doji. A flag. A triangle. Oh my God. So, lack of volatility. There's got to be a doji here. Spinning top. Here's a beautiful doji. Here's 2 dojis. Lack of volatility. Explosion. This is amazing. Don't forget, the guys that sold here are now at the point they could sell again. This is where they sold the last time on Ask. They got filled at that price. I'm sorry, they had to sell actually this price to get this structure thing. And then they finally were in profits, but now they're coming back to being at break even. So if they have a trailing stop here, we can expect they will pop that, and we'd have to have a chart to ask. So that stop is probably living here for the bears. Now we cannot see the bears stops, and we would have to plot. This is if you trade both directions, but since well, get in. It's just like out of so yeah. And this is the doji where it all spilled out, right? The starting gate for the so if you trade one direction, you got to realize it's a different world, and you have different prices. You might have got filled here on Ask, right? Since the bid is this much, that spreads that much, we probably could have got filled on a buy stop, maybe here, or we're buying at the market here and we're getting this price, and this is our stop trailing, and now we're up in the trade. And if we sold here and we didn't take profits down here where they trap these guys, then you're fucked. See how difficult trading is now in the real world on the 1 minute chart. A Bitcoin coming into the top of the hour. We'll pause for station identification. I don't know, I guess I can't wait that long. I'm digging this low volatility for the last minute. I think we're going to pop up here. So I think it's going to be one of those tragic traps for the bears for the moment. They're going to have to take it on the chin for a little bit. I'm so compelled to turn off all the instruments just to plot this one. But we can jump around. We can go to the 1 minute chart. Now here comes Asia. And here is the behemoth triangle that's been forming. I talked about, and maybe it didn't go through, but the last video there. And why I got open drawing to delete all objects is killing me. Here is an example. I'm going to turn the ask to black here because I didn't save that template. Fuck. So here's the ask, very faint, living inside there. So you get more zigzags on the top here. Then you just get like a slump in close. Close goes flatline. So there's two monster dojis here. When you have the market go flat 2 times in a row, you know it's double doji. It does, inverted hammer is still doji. Dragonfly, spinning top. It's the size of the body that's going to determine your at the market risk plan and your on the clock risk plans. Now, if I bring up MT5, and I might do this later for the 12-hour chart, you'll shit your pants. You'll be like, this is too easy. Tops become bottoms on the 12-hour chart like a motherfucker. Double top become double bottom. And if you're really anal about it, you'd probably get a broker that's 6 hours away. To get the offset 12-hour chart. But just go to the 6-hour chart. There you go. The 3-hour chart is, like I said, if you have a trade plan and you're really going to diligently check every 3 hours, you have a 3-hour bot. And you can't have 3-hour scripts. The one thing about MetaTrader that goes far beyond the thinker dim is you can have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12 hour scripts. It's pretty fucking amazing. 15, 30. So you have, if you took all those into account, you've got 8 levels of dimension. And you could have, if this is a 1 hour chart, and I've been testing this, and it's got some interesting results. So if Ryan Brown is listening, hit me up. I'll send you. Well, I should actually write a few iterations and name them, which I did in the old days with the scripts. So what I have to do is name the robot what it's doing. 8-hour limits, 100 pips deep. So you'd have to call it 8-hour limits, 100 pips deep, 50K. And you could write 50K on the buy and sell side, and it would take you some fucking time. It would take you about 4 hours. But once that's done, now you take it to the market, and you make sure, seriously, that it's going to fit. You curve fit it to the footprint of volatility. Now, it may not fill, but you are not blowing up the fucking account. And if it does fill and snag and bag a fucking swing in the market, now imagine this is a 4-hour chart. I don't want to switch time frames. We've seen this pattern before. Market has a colossal fucking move. This trend line holds. Every motherfucker and his mom is in on this pullback. It totally fails. The volatility dries up. Forget the volume. It's the same fucking thing. Why would you look down here to see volume dry up? I just never understood that shit. There's a lot of orders if you do. Fuck, dude, I can't trade volume. I gotta trade price. I don't give a fuck how many tickets exist at some level. I don't fucking give a fuck. It doesn't make any sense to give a fuck about that. Because the market's already revealed every fucking price level you'd ever have to need to know. This triangle is always going to be a retest. Come back to the scene of the crime. I talked about this a million fucking times. This vacuum is always going to be unfucking believable. This is when your wife just is like... So my starter wife said to me one day, she just filed for divorce actually without even letting me know. And she called me, now I'm not even shitting you, in court. Her attorney called me a scoundrel, and I thought, you're kidding, right? Dude, I'm just a goober. I'm not a scoundrel. Like I was on like, it used to be called Current Affair, Inside Edition. Dude, I'm nobody. Leave me the fuck alone. That's also a reason why I probably never want to go to or giving seminars. Oh yeah, he's that guy who's a fucking simpleton. Look at him. He's so stupid. Who wants to live in a fishbowl? You fucking retarded. I can't even believe Akil Stokes and Jason Greystone sold their soul to the fucking Gartley pattern. Are you fucking kidding me? And this fucknut, I mean, I was cracking up when I first saw Jason Stapleton. I'm like, this guy's like, he should just be a movie star. I just thought he was just gay. Right out of the gate. This guy's GQ hot. And he's selling forex. He probably figured out, dude, I don't see any chicks signing up. Maybe this gay guy's signing up. I don't hear chicks going, dude, who cares if he knows what he's talking about? I'm watching every video. Then he's got he's in a 4K monitor, whatever. The whole room's dialed in. He's like Fibonacci tools to arrange the shit in the room. This is London, New York. I get that people want to be molested while they're given a cab ride. That's Uber should offer that. Yeah, we got on deck fucking. They're not hookers, dude. They're escorts. Relax. You'll be fine. I mean, I'm sure that's going on, right? I do have a Uber idea where you get you just get a high-end audio system in there, dude. Danish drivers, FLAC files, things tweaked. You hand your buddies in the back a remote. Dial in your own fucking EQ, bitch. Pop, jazz, got presets. Dude, nice car. How about a smart car? You just take one person, charge a mint. Dude. Yeah, of course they got Escort City on your lap. You're in a smart car. Anyways. So back to the grueling task of analyzing the markets. But I'm actually thinking about trades the whole time I'm looking at this shit. Is there a trade for the range we're in? Is it time to buy the dollar yen? Are we going to break this monster triangle? We've been banging up against this bitch for how long? In closing prices, it's going to give you an earlier entry. Right, so the wick window, the envelope between the close and there's another trend line. And we're cutting through it right now and close. If we close above that, for a lot of people, if you can break and close above the trend line, but that's only if you have your trend line on close, which is completely different. You have this expanding valve. This thing's going to explode, man. What I can guarantee you, it's not going to trade sideways forever, and this triangle will no longer exist in 3 years. We're either going up or down. And people would say, well, duh. Okay, so would you put a sell stop here, or are you already short? Do you think this double top on lows is the resistance? Do you think, like Samurai Trader thinks, go look at his analysis, he's a fucking noob. Do you think that it's got to? According to Samurai Trader, sellers are coming in this dual crotch, and we're going to tank from here. This is monthly analysis, by the way. But this is blow by blow on the monthly. We're never going to put a 13-period moving average on the monthly. It's fucking stupid. Now, maybe on the 15, okay? You've got to custom curve fit your moving average to the time frame that it's ripest for. I would run it. I've done it. Okay, so I had this Fibonacci array, and I just kind of sloppily threw it in there. 144 moving average on the 1-minute chart. I'm giving away my best trade secrets. 89 on the 5. 55 on the 15. 34 on the 30. 21 on the 1 hour. If you have a, okay. Samurai Trader did a video with a 10-period moving average on the daily. Dude, no. 3-period moving average on the daily. Maybe 4. 4-period moving average tops. Why are people extrapolating into the past? Talk about dream shit. When you've got your data fucking stacked on the hourly and you've got more than 300 bars on your chart, what you're saying is that shit matters to the left of you. It doesn't. All that matters is the future. Is there a trade right now? This is all I'm thinking. And that's because, well, the week's almost over. Okay, we're closing in here. 5 seconds. Let's take a look at that Bitcoin chart. Sorry. Looks like they're tanking. So we might have missed our sell. We did. Okay. So we should have sold here. Look at this. 0 fucking volatility. We should have sold right there. In fact, we got filled. If we sold at the market too, and don't forget, as soon as this thing goes sideways, we could put a hedge on. Or we could make a direction. They just stop punted this guy. And so I'm calling this a stop front for the sense that we backfilled into the void. The most recent historical situation is only the last 5 minutes is history. This is historical. This will go down in history as the tightest fucking range on the 1 minute chart. It's literally nobody's trading. Zero fucking volume. I really should turn off these other symbols. So, shit. You have to delete the chart. And then it's going to take time to fill in. So, it's just not worth the drama. That's another thing. Here, let's just go 1 minute chart. See, all these tick charts are going to be really... Oh, this is a nice fat tick chart. So let's take a look at this. This is we're in Asia. You should have bought down here. So you would have been able to get a deal here. This is why I don't want to trade Bitcoin. I can trade this instrument all day long. So we had buy limits sitting here, and we were able to get this price, which is the floor on bid. So we had to get the bid floor. And this guy that bought this pullback, I'm sorry, if he bought here, I got to wait till this tick chart fills in. This is a big deal. In an hour and a half, we'll be at a completely different price. Up or down, guaranteed. And I definitely would have bought this trap here. And as we march forward, if you could get this price here, you're done real good, son. See why Bitcoin sucks dick? And this tick chart, if you buy here, you're up in the trade here. You could have cashed out. And look at that slam. And it's better market. This means something. This means something. When the big hand hits here, 5 minutes before and after, the top and bottom of the hour are insane fucking scalp windows. Insane. For the next 2 minutes, all right, it's like the outer limits. For the next 2 minutes, trendline break, big trap. Take a lookie at let's dip into the daily. Holy shit. So, look at this. Now, look at this trade today. Did anybody take this? Stop hunt. Call it what you want. I call that the new lows entry. You got buy limits here. No fill on this buy limit, but you lay in your iceberg here, or your dark pool order sits here. You do not need level 9 shit. This is a sell-off in Asia from the beginning of the week. Could you retest the bottom of the week? You sure could. And could you have dumped everything you own right here at this last known low? Did you know these two things existed? Did you know those existed? Yes. Could you have done a limit play? Let's call it the limit play. The fact that some other goober would call this turtle soup. He doesn't have a trade for turtle soup. I got it. He doesn't trade like that. He trades, let's look at the weekly. He has a checklist. He reminds me of just the most archaic goof. We're going to look at the weekly range. Dude, how big, tell me how big you're going to trade each ticket before you even start any of this nonsense. And then he says, don't take my trade recommendation. I mean, no comments allowed on his video. I thought about turning it off when people have hassled me, but I thought, no, it's too much fun to be the Venus flytrap, to be the guy that goes, oh, really? Okay. Look at this beautiful top bottom here. Ask becomes bid. I can't paint any further than that, sorry. Double top and ask, double top and bid. This thing's just hell bent, isn't it? Boy, that yen's going to get its butt kicked by the dollar and the euro, it looks like. Poor yen. But this is a stellar trade this week. Wednesday. Woof. Now we're coming into Friday. And here are the fucking triggers. Goobers are short. So we can see the goober trade. Their volatility bots went short here. We can go to every currency on the 4 hour. It's just too easy, dude. 3 hour chart would be... If I put a 3 hour chart and a 4 hour chart and stacked them, you'd be like, wow. I see what you mean. Especially on closing prices. It would smack you upside the head. You'd be like, oh, I get it. Because the 1 hour chart is too much. And the 2 hour chart's too much. The 3 hour chart is fucking beautiful. Because that multiplies sliced all the way to a day. Right? It's, so it's, what is that, 3 times 8? Or you could go 8. Because then you're perfectly symmetrical, right? 3-8 day. You're going in thirds, right? Maybe I'm wrong. No, let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can't remember if you're counting. Well, 3 hours goes by, right? So you go 12, 3, 6, divisible by 6, divisible by 12. But 8 would make, so it wouldn't fit into 8 very well. But 8 would be the 3 factor. But I think, forget 8. Look at him punish that thing. Wow, people took profits. And then some there. Gee, I wonder why. And the goobers are right now. Don't forget the goobers are like, oh yeah, dude, we just got filled there. We're finally back to break even. I mean, it's no secret. You can see trap traders all the time. So somebody sold this earlier, and this is the low on the this candle here, and that's actually a pure doji there. Notice it opened where it closes, so it actually went yellow. It's like a gravestone or something. A lot of those on the, look at the hourly. Trapped hourly goobers on breakout strategies right now. They're anticipating their first exit is going to be here, and they want to see it tank to here, and they want to be a samurai trader. They want to see it go all the way to here. Buyers will come in here. We're going to place our buy limits here. I can't believe you're buying it. Yeah, because we know there's a scalp bank. We need to lay in here. We don't need level 8 trading shit for that trade. And this is the more riskier trade. But we'll gobble that shit up. I'd put in a 12-hour order here, no problem. All week long, I'd buy there all, no problem. That's the 1 hour chart. The 30-minute guys are already trapped. They've already, this has already caused a hedge bot to be activated here and here. And we have a doji on the half hour. Severe bot execution. Now here have been activated. And here is where the 15-minute bots get trashed on breakout strategies. Duh. But on closing strategy, on a clock strategy, and I'm sure a robot could be constructed to say, well, we're near the last price from 5 bars ago. Pull the trigger at the market. Or we haven't traded, for the past 3 periods, we've only moved so many pips. So we have a lack of volatility in closing prices. We could have a trigger bot for that. But like I said, you would have to write that bot. I can't. I mean, all I have written is a constant launching of a script over and over again without regard to any other parameter. So that's not the best thing in the world. So here's closing prices. We're closing down. Now we're watching the clock. We have 6 minutes left. Coming up on 5 minutes left. Also, every 5 seconds before and after the top of the hour is a big deal. Watch the tick chart right as we close the 10-minute charts. You could have a 10-minute chart. But if you're a scalper, you're going to go into MT5 and you're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Maybe you're going to do 5-minute layers. You can multiple time frame trade and kill. Yeah, because you can see it emerging. You see the 5 kick into the 10, kick into the 15, the 20, the 25. I think you can create custom time frames in MT5. I know you can at TradeStation. Most NinjaTrader, I'm sure, if you can't do that in NinjaTrader's a bigger piece of shit than I thought it was. Graphically, it looks like shit. No offense to people that are humping NinjaTrader. Also, I can't run my scripts on there, so it's like completely ridiculous. You can't blow up a demo on it with scripts. You can't even trade a demo. You can't even make money. So we're the Goober bots are long, and they scalped out and made more money on the long side. Notice this flicked up here bigger. The conservative traders are waiting for a breakout of volatility. Still waiting for the volatility to die down. They have more buy orders stacked up than sells. The true breakout traders have. There's more pressure because if we have a steeper, dare I say, lower high, higher highs and higher lows. I mean, guys who do those videos are just jump out a fucking window, dude. Make up your mind. And look at this beautiful structure. Top becomes a bottom on the clock. So that'd be a clock trade or a pending sitting at this top. And it really doesn't matter in a way, but I do think there are people, some people that are actually covering their fuck up. If they bought this breakout and it petered out here, they're like, holy shit, I guess it's going up. Especially if they can see this trend line on the 1 hour. We're breaking it right now. We close above that. It means we're marching up into. Look at this. About to take out this ask. Dude, I've sat here and traded real and fake money, looking at that going, oh yeah, I'm holding that bitch to the bottom of the hour. Probably hold it for another. The bottom of the hour is going to be insane. We could be breaching this shit. Now, if you look to the left, you know, vacuums leave clues. There'll be sellers here. We would put a sell banks here for the scalp banks. Here. It's obvious what that trade's going to be. It could blow through it, but that's a high probability that once we get up into here, there should be some sellers coming in. Now that's the 4-hour chart, mind you. Just zoom out one level. That's plenty. You don't even care. You don't want to know about this shit back here. But you do want to know about this trap trade shit. When they come up there, this entry here is fucking so stupid. You sold here? Are you kidding me? That's pure fucking beauty. And then you sold here, new highs. Maybe there was divergence. Not in closing prices on RSI. Don't forget, RSI is built on closes. If you had RSI and highs, maybe there was divergence. People go, there's divergence. Okay, but dude, look at this. Right? See the trap? See where you need to buy? When everybody's shitting their pants and everybody's like, dude, it's going down, it's going down. Even the guys that buy on the clock, down into structure on close, those guys are getting in. Down into here, the apex of that last triangle, selling up into the doji, double top and highs, double top, failure, swing and close. Now it looks like we're just going to pop here, or we're coming back to here and we got buy limits sitting here. And the 4-hour chart, we can see, oh, we got buy limits here. Now these look like acceptable trades. I can see what you mean. Yeah, you put in 10Ks like that. No shit, Sherlock. What the fuck is wrong with people bitching about my video? Go fuck yourself. You don't understand order placement? You got to make money, you'd have to buy low anyways. Sure, you may never get filled on that, but you still got money in the account. You can go out and, with your ugly girlfriend and go on Twitter and look at the latest bullshit. I can't believe people are sucked into this Twitter shit. Between Twitter and Bitcoin, I post my stuff to Twitter, I guess it double acknowledges. I don't know, maybe they turn that shit off. But fuck it, I can't have a conversation with somebody on Twitter. The twits on Twitter. It's just too much. Everywhere you go, there's a pop-up. Somebody says there's a pop-up blocker out there. I've got ad blocker. And then there's a pop-up telling me, you got ad blocker on, man. You can't see Wall Street Journal. I'm like, go fuck yourself, Wall Street Journal. You're like buying antiques. I mean, you might as well save the wall. New York Times costs $6 on Sunday. Hey, you know what? Buy it and put it in Lucite. 3D Lucite. You ever seen 3D Lucite? It makes anything look fucking gorgeous. Take your favorite photos and then sell it on eBay in about 30 years. There's a quick investment. You can buy archives of newspapers. They're charging like $10 for fucking. There's people that do have these newspapers. And some acid-free vault. I don't know if I talked about it today, or if it made it on the video, but I was talking about the guy that deep into MT4. If Rimdim's listening, he trades at his trading house and shit. Well, if you trade really big at a retail trader, they'll kick you out. So he's this guy that they kicked out 2 people out of Australia because they're making too much money, because their trades have to clear, and a lot of your trades as a retail trader don't make it to the real forex market. They just in the sandbox of that one broker, which is fine. You're making money. That's why your spread could, and that's why market maker, dude. I don't care if it's a market maker handling my order. I don't care if a real estate broker is fucking me to death. I'm in a house. So, yeah, you know what? People don't care. And besides, the goobers are getting laid anyways with confirmation. Why would they even fucking care? They're not stepping up to the plate every 3 hours going, okay, I see it. Boom. Let's build a position here. Yeah, I think it's going to break down. I think it's going to break up. Look at this thing breaking out on a 5 minute. Man, this thing's pissed off. Don't fuck with these Japanese people, these Asian people. There was a Korean guy in my office once, and he put his head down. He just starts coming at you. Look at this beautiful entry here. If you get it by the bid, which you nearly can. I mean, these are acceptable spreads on this currency. There's plenty of good trading here. Bitcoin's just fucked. Right now, the spread's too wide. Forget about it. That's why it looks so dramatic, too. Like I said to some guy, they're charging 10% spread, to exchange Bitcoins. He's like, no, they're not. I'm like, I think they are. I mean, otherwise, dude, everybody would be buying this shit. It'd be going on endlessly. Okay, sellers just came in here. I wish I could see the bear stops based on latest ask. So you got to realize that the bull stops can plainly be read on any MT4 platform because your charts are painting, the candles are built out of bid. So that's another thing that is really kind of disorientating about trade. Like, objects are closer than they appear. I really wish that never said that on the mirror, because if you can't figure fucking out that is a goddamn magnifying glass, you shouldn't be driving the car. Like, when I saw that, I thought, well, that's great. Now I'm going to read the word closer and start veering into people. Right? My subconscious mind's going to pick that up. Just like every time I buy something and it says, do not remove the card, I have to keep on saying, dude, don't follow what it says. It's saying remove, and then it says don't remove. You never say don't remove the card. That's the most dangerous thing you could ever do in your life. Don't turn on the power. I got my finger. Don't. I thought you said turn on the power. Sorry. Dead. Like, don't trade's not another thing. Never say don't trade. Say, put money in your account. And, how would you say don't trade? Place orders 300 pips deep. I mean, how would you do that, right? Because saying don't trade just doesn't work. That's not good. Trade less. You're still going to trade. You actually don't want to not trade. I say, how about this? Trade small. Trade once a day. Trade once in the morning and once in Asia. Put on one trade. Now, this would be presupposing you're a disciplined trader. Okay, I trade in Asia. This guy that I had a big fight with, this guy don't read no books. Can't remember his name. I think his name was Grit. What was his name? Oh, fuck. Jake. I can't remember his name, but he goes, I don't trade in Asia. I'm like, why? There's no fib handles? He's like, and then he wanted Curtis Hanley to bail him out. He's making fun of my fib handles. And Curtis is stroking his ego. Don't let simpleton upset your life. I think these guys are both Texas. His name was True Grit or something. I can't remember this trader's name now. Fuck. And so this went on for quite some time. I think he had a perfect name. It was like Stash. Or like, his name was like My Beer. And, God, this guy just came off the rails. Me and this cocaine freak from Britain. This cokehead from Britain. At least he claimed he was Scarface. Oh, those were the days. I've had tangles with people, but, you know, honestly, if you have no sense of humor, you really shouldn't be doing anything. Like, who hasn't accidentally fucked their neighbor's wife? Come on, this shit happens all the time. My buddy, my gypsy couch surfer, oh my God, he molested the neighbor's wife, and the neighbor's a cop. I mean, and he accused me of living on the edge because I was with a girl whose husband was a fugitive. I can tell stories by a wall. It's bad, but it's exciting. I mean, I'm a risk taker, I think. Like, people tell me you're going to get killed. So I can't wait till he comes home. I want to kick some ass. I was kind of curious. I was curious. And she wouldn't let me listen to his voice on the phone. But, you know, those were the times. I mean, it was one of those moments in time. It was New Year's, right? Anybody have a New Year's Eve party that gets out of hand? No, it was a Christmas party. I tell you what, the most cheating that's ever done on the planet has got to be the Christmas party. I had a guy I was working for that his assistant molested him on Christmas and did a sex act that he'd never had done, and he grew a mustache, and his wife, this is a true story, his wife said, you got to cut your mustache. Like, he was really living it up. Now, mind you, this guy is he's pretty smart, conscientious guy, and he played Dungeons and Dragons. Like, he was total nerd. So it's pretty hot assistant. Totally accosted him. And he couldn't take it, man. He had to see her. You know, I understand that just happens. Now, this is how some babies are made, actually. It could be. So that's another thing. Do you think every pregnancy's planned, every market move is, they're manipulating my girlfriend? And they took her in the alley. Anyways, sorry. It's true, though. I mean, the market could molest you. You feel molested and they hunt your stop. Damn it, I put a perfectly good, reasonable insurance policy on my trade. Damn if they didn't stop me out. I get the stop hunt thing. Okay, so maybe Rimdim's like waiting to make enough money so he can lure an unsuspecting girl into his Ferrari. So I think that's any nerds, revenge of the nerds, right? And trading's kind of revenge of the nerds. So is Dungeons and Dragons. Looks like we're selling off. Sellers came in there. I do think they trapped the bid breakout guys. Imagine there is no spread. It's hard to do. Right, the John Lennon platform. And look at the spread will typically be kind of like where they trap people too. So there's the spread in red. We got the ask. We see the spread tighten up. If we go to the 1 minute, we see the pressure building up on the 1 minute trend line. Obvious. Once again, we're coming back into the vacuum. Buyers are buying it up. But you have to pay attention to this and really be honest with yourself. Do you have a buy limit sitting here, waiting to get filled? Or are you buying right now at the market? So this is the truth of the matter is that you're either buying now or you just got filled. So you just went long on the structure. Now you're underwater. This is why you need multiple buy limits all the way to here and beyond. You have to be that guy, or you're short, you're up in the trade right now. That's the beauty of forex. You're up in this trade right now. Anytime the ask goes below your sells and you can see where you got filled, it's a lot to think about. I am going to have to hunt down the ask indicator that keeps painting ask real time, and then we could see the spread on any chart in any time frame. So we wouldn't see it. We get to the point here, we could still see the spread on the 15 here. We can see the spread on the 4 hour. The daily, you cannot see the spread. So the daily traders have a very more risk, but they're up on their trades. Don't forget the daily swing traders, and you'd have to be a swing trader to buy this new low. You're up in that trade going, oh yeah, bring it, bitch. And don't forget, there's a triangle on the, if you want to do correlations, and of course this is kind of sloppy and I don't recommend it, but if the dollar crushes the yen, I suspect that same thing's going to happen here. And we can look to a trend line that goes way the fuck back, and if you just go wicks, which I also don't recommend because you're kind of late, but what you could do is start to snug up your hand done chart, and you're really looking to, you got to blow this out, you got to cross over, but you want to be in before you get there. I mean, you really want to be in on the way to that, because even the attempts at that are worth it. An attempt, a run up into that, like, how is this not a good trade? If you got in here, right, you loaded the wagon below here, you finally made money if you didn't get stopped out, but you loaded the wagon. Every day it's down, and you did SEAL Team 6 stuff, but his stuff, he doesn't even call out the price. It's retarded. But if you got in here and you dumped here into this double bottom on close, I don't know if you can see that. It's really hard to see on this thing. I should zoom in, but then I can't tell where I'm at. And here comes the 1 minute traders. Almost getting the hang of this piece of shit. So here, we're long. We're long here, we're long here, and we're getting filled in this order block. So to me, an order block is a block of my limits. It's not stuff back here. It's where I should be getting on the most recent vacuum on the 1 minute, which is right there. So you see this all the time. And we're going to be up on one of these tickets right now, because the spread is the width of this. So how do you know if you're up? You take the spread like you would Fibonacci and do an increment down here, and you can see you had to pay. If you bought this price, you are underwater, right? That bid needs to get, and it hasn't happened yet, a spread's worth. And here comes the critical window once again. It's about the hour. We've got 1 minute and 5 seconds till the bottom of the hour. So if you go to the half-hour chart, you're like, holy shit, look at this. The 15 minutes is going to give you a tighter signal. People broke out long. They trapped, stop hunted, but you bought on limits on the 15. You were filled 15 minutes ago. If you're a person that buys new lows. You're long right now. You got a great trade. You're up on the trade. You could get out at any point right now. So I'm trading real time. This is not fucking hindsight shit. I'm calling out the trades blow by blow. Anybody can do this. You can do it on the demo, and you can do it on a real account with a strategy tester. You're doing it on old data, and this is what you'd call forward testing. Right. Your strategy, real time. You could trade real money. You're not going to make a lot of pips, but you can do these trades. I recommend you trade at the market, though, and limits. Stop entry sucks dick in this situation. So your modality has to go at the market and limits, because stop entry is like, dude, just get the fuck in. Hard down means pressure's building up here. You need to be in here and paying this much. If your buy stop's sitting here, it's a shit entry. You should have bought here, because now you got to make up the spread. So here's your spread. Look at it fluctuate. Look at it tighten up. And that's really what you'd need to do. You want to trade 5 standard lots on a ticket, on a button. Get the ask indicator going. Even if you're selling, get the ask going to see where the fuck when you're in profits in the platform. Or you can look at the dollar amount and say, oh, we're up, right? Look, we're up. So this is all possible. And it's fun. You could do it on demo. Test it on demo, man, but you got to get the fuck out of these markets and take your $50 and run, because sometimes that's all you're going to get. Sometimes you're going to get, like, you could get out at the market. The fuck out of them all. Dude, it's going to tank. Just get out. Like, you missed your target. Admit it. That's how you admit you're wrong, too. Don't forget. Being flexible. You can make a lot of money trading being flexible. Look at this down hard. The pressure's building up. So we have dual pressure here. This is the 15. Either the buy stops or sell stops are going to be triggered. And I guarantee you that's the first time we've gotten that much low volatility. It's the lowest volatility of the night, 8:30. Bobbing the hours happen. The goobers are getting filled. But we're along here because it's down at the market. At the market, closing prices is down, we buy. Or we have both. Buy at the market, buy in a stop, or we have triple. We got filled on limits back here. We perceived a bullish market. I'm talking blow by blow. I'm not talking look back. I'm talking right now. We're up. We do not buy. We missed our entry. Admit it. You fucked up. If you're going to buy small, because now you're chasing. You fucked up. You should have bought this stop hunt. So, right. Buy blue. Sell. Red. Look at that sell. And you could have sold this vacuum and made something on a little bit of pullback here. And now you are making money. A little bit there. Wait till this time here on the clock. We're going to wait for the 9 number. And the nice thing about the 3-hour chart is, well, if it updated at noon, it's going to look like this. Like a compass. It's just nice and symmetrical. Plus it's cross of Jesus there, son. We don't want to put buy stops here, but we could and make money. Buy stops here. Like I said, that works too. It's just that you're taking on more risk, because technically your stop should be here. So you're taking on this much risk, where if you bought at the market here, with a stop like here, say you're only risking this much. See how that works? That's stuff you'd have to decide up front. We're getting a triangle forming. We're holding. We're going to get out of something here in 1 minute. We'd be getting out of something. We're literally going to get out at the market on one of these tickets, because the clock is ticking, and the 5-minute chart is going to update, and we can see that spill into the 15. So if you can watch the 15 to the 30 to the 45, now that's another thing you can do in MT5. 15-minute slices. Now, you got to be careful. You don't want to end up like I was talking about Kelvin, this guy that I met this morning. I don't know if it came through, but he layered it up. from the 1 minute to the monthly on 2 instruments stacked that overlapped that manually dragged these MT4 charts. And I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. My poor rodent eye running my fan here. It's going to be 100 degrees in this room in a minute. Got the computer running. I'm surprised the computer, every now and then the computer kicks on and goes through a cycle trying to cool. I should get the nerd thing going with the intercooler. But this is obvious stuff. Now, the robot should have got in on the 5-minute breakout. Or the robot should have got in here and it's still long. The breakout stop bot. But I do think the limit bot is really magical because if it can throw out limits based on the current volatility, throw them way out and last for 12 hours and having more layers. So I was testing the system, and you have to lay in your grids really wide, and this is a critical thing, is that they got to be wide and last long. And if the market is spiking down and it's stacking up 12-hour grids, then it's actually running this echo. It's like cloud trading. You're offsetting your entry by as long as the good till canceled is on your script. So if it's 12 hours or daily, and you let that puppy run in a currency pair, but multiple currency pairs, which you can't do in Strategy Tester, you'd have to run it real. And you'd have to look at it and go, is that a realistic entry? 50 pips deep all week long? What if they blow me out of that ticket? This is when you have to really think about layering and random layers. So you'd never want to duplicate. So each robot's picking a different pip depth script. And maybe they all launch at a certain time. There's going to be duplication, though. I tried to drop scripts even by hand with arrays, and sometimes they get clustered, and you get a hot spot. If your ratios aren't kick-ass, that's a problem. So everything matters. Like if you're building a bridge like those clowns down in Florida, you have to distribute the hot spots. Otherwise, forget it. You've got too much on a pivot, and it's just, you'll break the bank if you cut through. If that scenario unfolds, you'll break the bank. Or at least that one account would be blown up. It's cute that this Ryan Brown is talking about, well, I'm ready to risk the whole account. I love that shit. I mean, that's how you do make money. But you ain't going to need 10 accounts like that because you're going to blow one of those puppies up. Better that you put 1,000 in each account. If you think you put 10 grand in an account and risk it all, that's fucking stupidity. And you should be trading 1Ks. He's trading some bullshit like, well, it's going to martingale up. And no, never, dude, if you're listening, never duplicate another dumb fucking trade. If you're going to let the robot do it, tell the robot to trade 1Ks and just trade the fuck out of it. Because the idea that you get the robot's so genius, it sees that your RSI, he's got some RSI that he tweaked. Dude, give me a fucking break. You're like the guy in the soapbox derby. I'm putting like a motor coat up. Dude, I'm putting like hydrabaric bearings. Dude, you're adding weight to your fucking, you just went beyond the legal limit. Or I mean, you obviously can't, you're in that scenario, you got to have your go-kart, your soapbox derby's got to be. Maybe he's using different soap. It's like lava. It's got pumice in it. Dude, you just chewed up your bearings. I mean, are you kidding me? And Ryan Brown, was he like 35 years old? It's adorable. He's got like the smallest cluster of I'm trying to remember that guy's name. The Get Her Done guy. He didn't read no books. I want to say his name was Fib. Fib Grit. Grit Fib. He was a pip wrangler. I'm going to lash me some pips tonight. Oh, yes, it's coming back to me. It has to be the dumbest thing I ever... Let me guess, you're buying into that plunge. This guy was too much. I thought he was hired by Central Casting. Let me guess. Just let me looky here and see now. Get out the fucking... Let me get out... What was it called? The General. What was the name of that car they outlawed on Dukes of Hazzard? Was it the General? General Lee? It was they named their car. I never learned history. That's when I didn't read no books. I read a lot of trading books, but I never studied history. So the General Lee had like some British sticker on the top. I did not get the racial implications. I'm too oblivious. I'd probably get lynched, tarred and feathered. But went down south. Actually, I was down south, and I can understand what happened down there. That tobacco, not the wacky tobacco, just good old tobacco got a hold of them people down there. I had this really hot girlfriend, and we went to visit her family in Tennessee. And her family was like, how can she be so hot? I mean, her dad looks like he was, like somebody tested like a hammer, like a sledgehammer test was done on him. Let's see that sledgehammer does to a skull. I don't know. It's so easy to go country and just lose IQ. I think that guy's name, the guy that was making fun of me, since he said that I didn't have no respect for girls, I want to say that his name was, I'm just guessing wildly, his name was Snatch. Well, Snatch says that you should be going along. He's in the uptrend. I know Snatch has a blog. Snatch. How about Snatch Trader? How about that you find the schedule of your favorite escort and chart that closing prices, where she's been. I'm sorry, I came on a rap there. I had to pause. But you plot her comings and goings, and she retests an area. She revisits the scene of the crime. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked there, but no, trading should be fun. I mean, I just don't get this vitriol. These people with this fucking, oh, you're full of shit. And okay, great. Show me how. When? Where? We're all looking at the same data, man. I could see like a Bill Gates. Yeah, great. There's how many instruments? Holy fuck me. 80? From Bitcoin all the way to fucking eggs. You can trade eggs at the Chicago Board of Trade. They trade weather futures. Is anybody aware of that shit? It's been going on for years. Well, it's conspiracy is what it is, son. Snatch says that ain't no good trade. Spread's too wide in weather futures. We trade eggs and bacon. I remember trading pork bellies, dude. I was nervous. This is one, that black guy Eddie Murphy was making money in orange juice. Shit that's limit up. Shit where it's locked limit. You can't even, if you're on the wrong side of pork bellies, dude, I used to shit my pants. I was in live hogs. I used to trade live hogs because I thought, well, it is less risk. Smaller margin requirement too. And this is the idea that pork bellies follows hogs, like crude oil is going to follow gold. Not necessarily. Oats is going to follow. So I had the talk about a thin market. Go scalp oats. Okay, dude, I've done it. I've seen it. When I saw forex, I just thought it's fake. And what was weird is that I knew it couldn't last. Just like when the real estate market crashed, I bought in really low. And I thought, dude, this is a once in a lifetime, once in a 100-year history of house buying. It's just going up now, dude. Jimmy Carter's in office. Think about that. Another thing Elliott Wave, Bob Proctor's really good at is lining up like the mob is wave 3 of the 50s, like the 50s is wave 3. Sociologically, and what wave are you in as far as the social landscape? Just watch Bitcoin meltdown, and I'm making outlandish claims here, but I don't think it's that hard to see that void. And I think I can make the fundamental argument, and I'm usually bullish on shit, but I do resent Bitcoin. I don't know if I mentioned that. So I am like the guy that doesn't want to buy the euro, even though it's going up, because he hates the euro. Like this guy that watches my thing has a fuck you for euros. So the euro exchange, it looks like a pit. It's an icon of the euro dollar, but with a finger sticking up, or it's a chart or something. Geometric pattern with the finger. And, there is this resentment, and I get it, Australian dollar. People, are they going to short the Australian dollar if they're patriotic? Probably not. That's another one. I did a little mini symposium. This is goddamn, fuck. I'd say 6 years ago at a library. I used to call it a library. Maybe it is called that. It was a computer lab in the basement of this really rich area. And I had about 12 unsuspecting goobers show up. I had them trade. It was funny. The broker that I loaded into the computers was out of the Isle of Man. And people told me that's where they sacrifice little children. Look at this thing tank. Boy, the bears got a hold of that shit. Look at this thing tank. Oof. They stepped up to the plate. Now we're going to buy on limits below that. We won't get filled till that red line hits that ball. So, or we could just buy at the market now. We can take that risk. That's another thing. You can take that risk. I mean, if you're really bullish, you're buying right here. Every 5 minutes it drops. But we're going to wait till the top of the hour. And we're going to buy at the market at the top of the hour. Then we can buy every 15 minutes it drops, right? We know our exact risk. 96 tiers, 96. If we traded every 15 minutes. But all this stuff, all these incidents, all these trades. I remember my soybean oil trade where I sold the bottom and bought the top of the day right to the pip. So that was when I first started trading. And I got all excited about it going up, and I bought. At the market, I called that in. And then by the end of the day, I was down $900, and I was like, holy shit. I can't take it. I got out. So that was my worst trading day in my whole life. In futures, I lost way more than that in forex, but in futures, I was like, holy shit. Actually, no, the most I ever lost was 2 contracts of soybeans. I think I lost either 2,800. I must have added to the account, but I think I lied. And this was while a guy named Michael Calavito, who still exists, traded my account at Jack Carl 312 Futures out of Chicago, and he was my broker. And he said, "Oh, there's a soybean report coming out." But he was a really cool person because he had an amazing sense of humor. He goes, "Dude, it's just." He had a real great psychological game because he was a tennis pro that injured himself, and he played in the Davis Cup. It's a prestigious tennis thing. And so, these things really help to get over any kind of loss, to have somebody that's going to make fun of it. So I was pretty upset because I think I was down like either 2,800 or something, or $3,000, and I was actually holding one of the trades till it came one of the orders or something, or I think we might have made it back or something. We swung trade the shit out of it, but it was him and me, and so that's the first time I actually ever had a broker kind of, I want to say, motivational coach, like, dude, it's going to be okay. Don't blow your brains out. So I was pretty upset. And I couldn't blame him, and I was feeling cringy, like, God, am I just being conned to trade? And I thought, well, in a way, am I being scammed? No, we made some money together, and but he was using fundamentals and in research and blah, 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 which is all the broker can really do. Or, at that time, I don't think he was saying shit like we have a Bollinger Band. Most brokers, this is why people want to hear fundamental shit, like those goobers that trade with SEAL Team 6. They're goobers, right? Because they're like, dude, the fundamentals. Yeah, but guess what? It's already priced in the market, dumb fuck. Right? These are structural trades. Better you just trade structure. You get the same results. Oh, actually, if you trade the market, a volatility, oh, big rally coming here. Volatility, at least you can adjust to conditions. Here we did not get our buy. We got our buy limit fills on that vacuum, and here comes the top of the hour. So we want to be long right now. If we're market traders, we bought the last 15 minutes, and remember I said buy here on at the market. So we had two signals here. We have this 15-minute bar we bought at the market and this one. And why we buy at the market? Because it went down and we're bullish. And we could draw a trend line and close. So this is perfect setup. Idealistic. This is the holy grail. We could have bought. We know these two lows exist in time. At the market traders on the clock bought here. They bought here. Breakout traders, goobers have buy stops here, and here they're long already. They put a stop here, they got stopped out. If they put a stop here, they're still in. If you bought here and you cashed out here and took one ticket off the table, let the rest ride, added on pullback, you're a genius. If you're still long, hog long, or you bought a pant load here, and you're going to exit here's your take profits. And you're going to go short a little bit for a pullback into this. If this is your vacuum, your sell limits go here, and you got a trade plan that takes you back to here, right? Obviously, fucking duh. This will be the breakout. We sell into this trap, back to that, because we're going to do this shit for 80% of the time is ranging. Look at the price reaction here. Now, this is what this guy, I'm assuming Rambadima, which I've extensively seen him converse with other people, and I said this morning, you couldn't hear me, he's revealed himself. Not to me, to this other guy. So he's a bank teller. He works at a prop house or some bullshit. We are going to take profits up into this, but there's going to be sellers here too, because we're going to sell into that, which is going to cause, we're just like everybody else. Everybody's all doing the same thing. It's how big are they doing it, and for how many increments are they doing it? Sellers should be selling that high. They sell this high. If by the top of the hour we close here, they should sell faithfully. But maybe they're going, holy shit. We missed our entry here and we fucked up. And does the market know that you fucked up? Is it out to trick you? Are the big boys dragging it to this trend line? I don't think so. Maybe they are. Well, why don't you ride with the big boys? Why don't you do what they do? They trade against the herd, supposedly. The herd, the dumb sheeple. That's another thing that, if I hear that one more time, I'm going to throw up. Dude, everybody's a sheeple on some topic. Everybody is lured in. Talk about manipulation. I mean, this girl today, I mean, well, of course, the Starbucks girls all dress alike, but I thought, really? Come on. You're a sister. You're just saying that for safety reasons, so I don't stock both of you from the same address. But seriously, and look at this. I mean, they could have dipped down here. I wasn't watching. You can't pull the trigger anymore. If you're a disciplined trader, you only pull the trigger every 15 minutes. And trading's tough. A lot of rules. Like Mark Douglas says, you're making your own rules, though. Can you follow your own rules? That's tough. I'm not going to eat another cupcake. I'm probably going to buy more tonight. Sorry, I'm drinking my Starbucks. The barista's sister brewed this. So I forced them to do a pour over. Because I drink their blonde roast because other stuff tastes like shit. They burnt it. Just because Starbucks is the shittiest coffee. If you've ever had high-end coffee, Starbucks is one notch above Tim Hortons. The only thing cool about it is they will do a pour over there, which tastes different. And they're claiming, oh, the right water mix. You ever seen the bullshit? Look at that. Look at that blowout. Look at them pull it back off that rooftop. Wow. Sellers. People cashed out, dude. And I would have too. Look at that spike. They're manipulating the market. This is that 5-minute window I talked about. 5 minutes before the top of the hour. They're manipulating the market. Yeah, this next 9 minutes are going to be psychotic. Next 9.5 minutes. And the sellers are up and the buyers are up. Everybody made money on that trade. If you're on the right side, if it's a revolving door. I've said that a million times. One man buys, another man sells. We should all be making money, you dumb goober. Of course. Don't forget, this is the 15-minute chart. Here, I need to chug some coffee here. Sorry, I've fallen behind in my coffee consumption. Because I'm too giddy about the markets from here to Christmas. Well, summertime's really slow. According to Eckel Stokes, it's like the deadest time to trade. Dude, wait till the grid goes down. And don't forget, this is to come. I don't mean to sound like a flat earther, but you know what's on the horizon, don't you? What? You do know what is to come. Temperature's going to 100 here in the Midwest. They're going to take that grid down, baby. If the economy's getting better and people are buying more toys, which I'm sure they are, well, critical overload. I saw generators in front of the pawn shop. And I'm like, I saw the guy, you're going to cause a fucking outage. So we're either going to have a tornado or grid's going down. Too many goobers using their toys. Okay, here we come. This is the top of the hour in 45 seconds. But we're not adding to this. I'm not going to chase it. So that, I guess that's where the discipline comes in. We also could have gone with the buy every pullback in the 15, and it's probably easier to see if we go to the candlesticks. Now, I rip candlesticks apart all the time, but I must say the doji is the hedge signal. There's a trade plan for that. So here was small bodies, caused big breakout. This was pretty cool. We scalped it here. Now we go top of the hour. Boom. And there's a 5-second gap between the open and close of each candle. Most MT4 brokers. So there's no data for 5 seconds before the close of that. So the candle closes, then there's no candle. There's nothing for 5 seconds. They're not strewn end to end. So don't forget there's a gap. See that little gap there? You closed up and then you opened in a gap open on a price there. That's the 15. The bulls can't wait to see it hit here. The sellers will come in at that level. Duh. I mean, it's just so funny. Well, that's the bank level. That's on my MT. Oh, I see the level. Yeah, of course there's orders here. There's orders from robots that have money management stop and reverses or cash out. That's the stop hunt. It's also the profit hunt. Because if the guy that put the robot that's trailing that shit is short from here, I know it sounds like a broken record, but when I say don't forget, there's a guy that sold up here and he's got a trailing stop. And even though he gets stopped out, he made money. Jake got stopped out. They were trailing stop right there. They stopped you out. Well, I know. And that's what that guy Snatch said to me. See, I made that money too. I can't even believe what you're saying. You're going to buy down here? Dude, what if it keeps tanking? What are you, fucking retarded? And then so funny, he's such a hypocrite. He starts off the video going, now I'm not going to criticize Simpsons trading, but that motherfucker. And then he just went off on it was hysterical. And then he says, market ain't never going down there. I know we all think that. Like, you'd have to be bullish on this currency pair. You're like, dude, that's a flag if I ever saw one. It's almost queer. And then this thing, really? Like, at some point, it's going to make up its mind, and I can guarantee you it ain't going to trade in this range forever. Just like dollar yen. Now, I've made market calls before. I've done videos and made amazing market calls, and I've never gone back and captured them and go, see, told you so. Dude, because it was obvious. Now, how much did I get? I wasn't even in those trades. And there's calls I made that were bad, but that's if you're trading with stops or you blow up that account. All sorts of shit could happen. You could blow up the account, or you could just make a little bit of money, or you could lose a little bit. There's all sorts of scenarios. Life's short. Trade forex. If only on a demo. So this guy, after all this rimmadimma, after all this fighting, he admits that he's just learning. Gosh, I thought he had it nailed down the way he was telling me I was full of shit. But if I put a 3-hour chart up with candles, dude, you'd buy candles. They're like love candles. Because I guarantee you, there's going to be 3 dojis here instead of 2. You'd be like, holy shit. Look at this fucking gravestone shit here. There's probably 2 dojis so tight. And like I said, somebody emailed me an indicator, and I haven't run it. But I took a ATR of open to close instead of the ATR high to low. Instead of the range, I just said, give me the open to close range. And you plot that, it's disturbing to look at. I think it's better to just look at this and go, okay, I got it, small body. I got to put in a fat trade here and a fat trade here. And a fat trade here. And just don't care. So you have, I don't care. I'm a non-directional guy. Here you're short maybe a little bit, and you're long a little bit. And as this thing quiets down on the 4-hour, but imagine 3-hour. So you're getting way more res. So you're able to do things you can't really do on the 4-hour. The 2-hour would be pretty sweet. That'd be a lot of work. Every 2 hours. What's with this bitch? But actually, the 2 hours is kind of cool because you're only offset by an hour. I know I'm sounding like a fucking nerd, but dude, unfortunately, I thought about this shit. The 5-hour chart, even though it's possible, doesn't make sense to me because the scripts aren't running. And 6, 8, even. Also, in the stock market, they used to have this thing called odd lots, and people used to track the odd lots, and it was a signal. My dad used to tell me, if there's odd lots coming in, that means retail goobers are coming in. People that can only afford so much. If there are big fat round numbers coming in, guy that wants 5 cars or some shit, whatever that is, or 5 yards of yen, that's a different kind of order. And that order could move the market. But sometimes it's big boys against bigger boys. So the idea that it's big boys against you is so binary and so fucking retarded. There's little boys, there's littler boys, there's big boys, there's bigger big boys, and there's the big. There's Soros steps in and goes, dude, British pound, fuck it. And just choose it to bits, right? Look at this buy. I'd buy right here. Oof, buy right now. Right now, tick chart. Buy. Nice flat line there. Look at this thing rearing up. Good tank. It's kind of dicey right now. Now, how tight's your stop? I'd put a 3-pip stop on that. I wouldn't risk too much. Yeah, I'd have a stop here. But then I want to buy there. So this is the big paradox of trading. This is really the crux of it, to be honest with you. If my stop's there, I should be buying there. So what would be the thing that's going to separate the survivors from the, like how are you going to, if that's the quandary, right? Well, it comes down to sizing. So if you have a 3K in here and you're long 1K and you have a 3, this is the way to do it. You buy a 1K with a stop here. You put a 1K here and a 1K at the top and bottom of this box, and you fit your orders to the void, the structure. So you get in very small here for your ego, because you got to be in something. Or what you're going to do is, well, for me, what you're going to do is you're going to, like I always trade 1K, and some people say it's a probe trade, and some people, and ICT does this, he puts it on to see how he feels about the trade. Now, it's a good way to test whether you really believe in it going up. Because as soon as you buy any amount, your brain's going to switch to, oh, I could get hurt. I mean, maybe I'm chasing too hard. Like I said, I had an incident with my arm. And it's just healing up. And my shoulder, I think I fucked up because I was so worried about my arm that I didn't realize how old I am. And I don't work out. So, unless you call clicking a mouse working out. And doing these videos and driving around enjoying my retired lifestyle, I suppose you'd call it. Semi-retired. At least I'm not trying to... And I get that you want to drive fast because the road's flat, but I guess I'm going to have to buy a sports car for one route that I drive. That car is only designed to drive down that one road. Yeah, you got to be like... I think with these trucks, though, my car is so low profile, I think with these trucks I need to get radar. They must have radar. Like real-time traffic shit on a 4K playback in the car, so I can be like, yep, dude. I can do 3 donuts. I can lock it up and do 3 donuts on the shoulder and end up queued to get between that Mazda and the smart car in one movement. Like the market swoops down and picks up your limits, which is a glorious feeling, I must say. I've had those moments, man, where I wrote a script, I dropped it, and I go, unfucking, I'm like, I just made $1.30. I made 13 pips in a millisecond on a 1K. I'm like, huh, that does work. Literally on a script I wrote. Oh, look at this thing ready to bust in Nut North. Look at this poor thing. Oh, boy. Look at this gravestone on the 1 minute. Dude, I would get in so fucking hard on these gravestones. That's another thing. This is the ultimate doji. You need to be fucking heavy in. And I would trade candle by candle, to be honest with you. Now I'm not in. I'm getting out. I'm cashing out of something right here. And I'm just... Okay, I could have doubled my money just now. So, did you see that? That was like, here's the spread. We can see the spread. So, even though we saw this trap, the stop hunt, we still had to pay this price, which was the apex of this triangle. We got this amazing doji. Actually, a doji alarm, you'd have a minute to get to your chart. It'd have to be like an air raid siren. I like these people who have these. Now, here's another thing. I say take MT5. I did all this stuff, so I guess me recommending stuff that I did, I'm not saying it doesn't work, and I'm saying it's not my cup of tea, I suppose, because after a while, like the boy that cried wolf, the alarm kept going off, and I thought, I don't hear it anymore. That's not good. If it was a unique alarm like, hey, fuckhead, I'd read this rim dim shit. Hey, dumb fuck, get to your monitor. There's no, oh, look at that last doji there. Now, that would you could add to that position. Got 1 minute to add. A doji means hesitation, indecision. But you don't have to decide. You could go goober on this. Okay, you're up in the trade. Even the goobers are up in this shit right now. Here we go. We're coming into the bottom of the hour. 9:30 is going to be insane. Okay. I'm out of 50% of my position right now. Right? Aren't you out of 50% of your position as you come into the bottom of the hour? And this was the 10-minute psycho window was the apex of this. As they stop hunt the bid, you need to be buying at the market, or you have to realize your limits cannot be at structure on these charts to get filled. It'll never happen. You have to admit they never filled you. So, and that's a cruel thing to admit. Unless you bought here, which you would have had to pay this price anyways. If you had a buy stop here, okay, great, but you should have had a, how to say it? If the ask needs to get below here, which it never did, you had to pay this price. So it's better to buy on pullbacks. This sounds so, you can't even believe how dumb this sounds, but this is how trading works. You have to buy this down candle and this down candle because you're on the 1 minute chart. You got to buy this down candle, and then you got to buy that doji. But you buy more here than you bought here, because when it goes like this, it could easily keep going like this, which it did here. Boom, boom. And now you're holding. And I wouldn't add. I'm cashing out now. Now I'm selling. A little bit. I'm totally flat maybe. It really depends how much you're going to risk. Asia is just a fucking stupid breakout trade. It's also a stupid trap trade. So here was the trap in Asia. We could have traded this trap for this much. In 1 minute, we could have made X. Or we're waiting for it to doji out. We start getting in. We're in a 4K. We're in a 5. We're in a 6, 7K. And now we're cashing out. Unfortunately, we need to leave the party before the police show up. This is how I feel about every trade. Scalp like this. I want to get out before the cops show up. Right there. I could go flat there, and I have on many occasions after destroying my account. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just getting out. Now the 5 minute traders are going to hang here for another 2 minutes. I'm sorry, 1 minute and 45 seconds. Like sand through the hourglass. So are the candles of our lives. Look at this monster fucking 15-minute punch. Coming out of dojis? Dude, this is for stupid people. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Even though you'll tell me, well, I got chopped to bits here, you still got to take your first 2 and 3, 4 pips. That has to be written in the script. By the way, I didn't mention. Buy at the market, you might as well make it buy an 8K on one trigger pull. If you're that guy. I say don't do that. I say buy, okay, this could get away from you. Never put more than one bullet in the chamber. I get the double-barreled shotgun thing, get her done. Yosemite Sam trading, I get that. But why not say, I've got a script that buys 0.5 pips deep. I've got a 20K in where you've got a 10K on every pip. I doubled my order by going for a higher res entry. It's a 15-minute script. And I could write that script and run it on a 15-minute chart. I could have some elaborate Fibonacci-esque script. Proportion-wise, I could take a 50 pip grid and slice it in Fibonacci percentages, right? I've done it. You buy 50 pips deep, and then you go to from 50 to 0. Imagine there's no spread. From 50 to 0, you're going to look at the sellers feasting on that. So I'd be cashing out there because the scalpers just stepped in here to see if they can scalp it off this rooftop. Now here comes the contest. These guys are in profits right now. The trap traders. There was their sell bank. They got filled. And that's the only thing we know is where the sellers got in this MT4 platform. We can see here, but we don't have the, like we'd have to watch the tick chart to see the trades here. We can stretch out the tick chart though. So if you really are a scalper and a sniper, you're probably going to want to see this view. In fact, you probably, if you're going to literally trade like you claim, candle by candle, you're probably just going to want to see this many candles and think about this shit. Here's your tick chart. Now, this is psychologically a different view, so it's more microscopic, and you can still have to the left of you the 3-hour chart. So I would say if you're ever going to trade on MT4 with candles, go maximum zoom in. I'm using a 720 monitor, so I'm using Windows cranked up, but it doesn't affect. I'm not into high res for trading. Like 4K this is too much. If you run this on the proper candle bars per, like if you're a moving average trader, you should be able to trade like this and be like, okay, this is what's coming at me, dude. We should put on a hedge here. That's a doji. We could come back and retest this. Are you short? Are you going to go along here? Let me ask you. The red has to hit this for you to get filled. You got a limit here. You could have a pack of limits here, a 10K. Let's go martingale. There's a 40K, a tenth of a pip apart. So for every 1 pip, we could put in a 10K. We just got filled here on an 8K. I'm waiting to get filled more. Right. Then we got the 5-minute view. Holy shit. We got a top bottom here. Right. Body becomes a body. Man, they're filling in my fucking moving average on lows. Look at that. Look at them crush it. Now, you really want to buy heavy here. Okay, they just filled some more K. I say buy more here. All week long. Right there. I mean, that's you have to be like SEAL Team 6. You have to have some balls and be daring. Okay, Lee, we just filled that order bank. We just scalped out. You see that? We don't have to go to the fucking, this is the 5-minute chart. We don't have to go to the 1-minute chart. Pressure's building up on there's lower highs. No shit, Sherlock. And you're going to put your buy stop. So the goober buy stops are stacking up here. Their goobers just went long. You see the red cut in? Let me make it white on ask. So everybody should trade the demo and playback and trade all this stuff and call out your trades and say, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Yeah, you should be. But you probably won't because you'll be sleeping through this. Or you're like, I don't know, man. I don't really write a script for like just making 3 pips. Okay, great. But the guy that's trading 3 pips right now, he may trade 180K. And he just made like, I don't know, 150 bucks. Just dicking around. So I'll make the ask white. Look at this thing cut through now. Look at that blister. That's the 1 minute. So doji reverse signal, 1 minute chart. You don't need, dude. Besides, you got 5 seconds. Don't forget. Every minute there's a 5-second dropout on this chart. So see how it gapped down? It closed down. There's a little gap. See, that closed up and then it gap open. It was so bullish, it just kept screaming. And there's a 30-second chart, and the most money I ever made in a demo is this platform that lets you do a 6-second chart. And I was like, dude, this is a piece of cake. Because you can see the wave. So you can see the wave here, but you can't see it on the 5. The 5, it's just a pullback. Look at that. Fucking 5 minutes down by. 5 minutes down by. So how many trades did you put on at the market if you're a bull? Well, technically, if you're honest, you bought this mini pullback. This is purely building at the market. You bought this one, and you bought that one, and you didn't buy any more. So you're in a 3K. I mean, a 4K. This is pretty easy, right? Now you're in a 5K. This is buying a pullback, so now you're in a 6. But maybe you cast out everything and just put a 1K in here now. That's what I like to do. Because I got buy limits sitting here, and I just picked up those buy limits. And so, see this spread is, it's kind of hard to read. Okay, it's hard to read the spread here. Let me draw it and then try to duplicate it roughly, estimate it. There's the spread. So if we take that to here, if we pull the trigger when we close down hard, we're getting filled, say, about yay. Which is where the buy stops are stacking up. So in a perfect world, you're getting filled on this order flow, on this vacuum. Has First destruction point on the 1 minute. Now we're cleaning house. Now, are we going to blow through this at some point? Yeah, after we trap somebody on this wick for a little bit, pull him back and manipulate him and lure him to a trade. They're tricking you. And look at this doji. Another buy or another hedge. And this is high frequency trading, which means a lot of trades. So high frequency trading to me doesn't, when they say that, what they mean is fast execution trading, where people point satellite dishes at the exchange and try to get an edge in front and go in front of the market. But anybody can do that. All you need is put a buy limit here and have that red come in and tag this order. So if you're running trailing buy limits behind the market all day long, when you get picked up here and here, they nab you. When the market gets to here, you can claim this profit for the moment. If you wait long enough, you can claim this profit from this entry. But that meant that you rode through how many zigzags? It's in an uptrend, right? I mean, the trend turns as soon as this goes up. Let's just be binary. Uptrend, downtrend. The first minute it goes up, you buy. Or you're building into a counter trend entry, but you got to get the size right. You got to have your stops right. You got to peel off one here, right, as you come back and retest the crotch of this thing. Or just because you went up. Because you have to pay for the risk of it. You have to pay off that spread. You get into 3 positions. Mark Douglas technique. 3 positions. You peel one off, covers the cost of trading. Maybe you tighten your stop on one, and one's got a monster stop. So you have a swing, a scalp, and an intermediate trade. In every trade you do, you should be able to scalp. But you have to, if you want to make a lot of money scalping, you got to go buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You literally got to go and turn on a dime. I mean, you're waiting for this doji, but then you cannot pull the trigger for 3 minutes. And this is almost a doji, but it really doesn't qualify. So if you bought here, you dumped, you bought here, and if your qualifier is a 1 minute body, I should try that, the 1 minute chart. I really wish I knew what the trigger envelope was. Okay, now we're getting a doji about to form here. And when you're doing the 1 minute chart, you got to be watching the second hand on the clock. So, and look at the tick chart too. So this is all you really need to know. You're living, but you fly by the seat of your pants. I would hopefully have a buy limit sitting here at this point. And they're filling me. They just filled me. They also just dipped below my, or I bought it at the market here. We're down here. Now I got limits here all night long again. And maybe I dumped everything, or this is definitely your hedge. But you're kind of getting chewed up in the spread a little bit here because you're dealing with this spread now. Even though it looks like it's tightening up. I have a spread indicator that runs, but I don't have any tools in here right now. So this is just, I'm using what MetaTrader gave me. So this is any MetaTrader platform will do this template. And, oh, here the buyer's coming in. Look at that. Spectacular. So here's the trap, right? We're like, holy shit. When I see that, I'm in. I'm pulling the trigger before the clock closes. 10 seconds we got. So 5 seconds before the top of the hour, we just close that candle. And now, oh, maybe it's 1 second. But it rolls over before, so it gets in before. It's not truly. And here we go. This is a trigger for a bot, and this is not because it's too big a body. So small body trigger. This is when the hedge bots come in. And here's the spread is the wick actually on that. So here's your, and just watch this happen. We got to hold, the bid's got to hold here. This is where the sell stops are stacking up from the guys that bought this price, or they're clever enough to buy this ask. There's their break even. So this will be a huge deal. This guy bought. He's up on the trade. Well, he's been up on the trade, but it comes back and he's like, I'm at even. I don't know if you've ever been there, but you're like, dude, I'm up. Oh, fuck. And you have to make it through this topsy-turvy shit here. And every moment's unique, and especially in terms of what the extension, how big is the next leg going to be? Looks like the sellers got it. They just stop hunted this guy. And if you wait, if you're patient, you wait another 40 seconds. You sit on your hand for 40 seconds. Now, it seems impossible because if you're really bullish, like I typically am, I'm like, damn, I want to buy one more. I get so giddy. And then I'm like, dude, stop. You're in 28K. Just put limits down here and shut the fuck up. And that's really the hardest thing you'll ever do is, well, maybe it's not. Let the market come to you. Because if you have any clue what's going on, if you can feel anything in these markets, you'd be like, oh, it's going up. Here it is. 38 minutes late, in my opinion, but here it is. I mean, it's always going to take longer than you think for this shit to congeal and just calm down. Especially the best entries are quiet markets. I can't find any traders that want to get in there. Like this guy that snatched, he doesn't want to trade Asia. I think, dude, that's a great place to fucking get in. Surely the trend traders all over that shit. Look at the sellers coming. They just busted this thing. So that's why I'd only buy 8K. And I can get in at the same price I did earlier. So see, this ask here was the best price. Now this is as good as it gets. You have to overpay a little bit now. It's in an uptrend. Higher close. This is the triangle. Here's the wedge. So anybody's catch this wave 4 bullshit or wave 2? Yep. Got to break out those highs right there. Those are the new highs. So when people ask me, what about the chick chart? It's just like any other chart. But you're seeing the punishment here. The spread. Nobody wants to pay the spread, dude. It's like, God, I only had the girl. I used the demo escort. I didn't use her for the full night. Can I get a refund? Look at that bitch go. Baby's bullish there. So this is the Bill Williams Goober entry on the 1 minute. His fractals would work on the 1 minute. So you're Goober long right now. Got to stop here like a real Goober. Or do you have your professional trader trades money market maker traders have limits here? Okay, dude, I know that. But do you have one? Is it big? Do you trade Asia? Do you trade London Open? London Open's like a fucking 10 times more risk than this. This is kind of easy. Look at that thing go. Here we go, son. Just took out that fucking Egypt ripper to do a bit here. Bottom of the hour. Look at that. Wow. Oof. Look at that fucker. 1 minute chart, bottom of the hour. That's a frisky little devil. Damn tootin', I blew up my account last. Look at that thing go. Oh, shit. See, now you got to step aside. If you're used to, like if you were like, yeah, I like that thing when it, holy shit, look out, man. Here comes the wheels. Here, now go a half hour. Oh, I see what's going on. We come back and visit this doji pot. Dude, look out. I'd say step back. Put a buy limit here. Look at this bitch. Oof. We just filled this cavern. First chance to draw a trend line. Uh-oh. This is the pivot. Oh, boy. Resistance. Look at this. Pressure. Still, there's still a vacuum living here. It's a beautiful thing. Big stop hunt here. But actually, the guys that put their asks got filled there. So if you had your limits sitting below here, that was the perfect ask fill. You know you got filled, okay? Here we go. So I'd say buckle up. We could take out the high and just rip. And maybe Bitcoin goes down. Yeah, because those Japanese are buying the Bitcoin. They're the only ones that can tolerate that weird number because look at their currency. I would say that the Europeans have an advantage. I mean, the Japanese. Look at this currency. This fucks up my indicator. $1.27. No, 127. What did these motherfuckers do to their currency? It's like the lira. Or the Mexican peso quote. So like, dude, I can't handle this shit. Euro, I get my brain around like $1.30, $1.80, $1.08. Like Canadian dollar, man. My tequila buddy, loved trading that shit because it was like, dude, I can get my brain around that. That's like right across the river. And that thing was a range trader's dream, dude. You'd have to, in my opinion, you have to have a broker for that currency. Some brokers have tight spreads in certain currencies because it's from, like a Canadian broker would have a great spread on that. Typically. Like an Asian broker has a great spread on the yen, I'm sure. Maybe yen versus Australia. We're out there, you know. And there, I've seen tight spreads with commissions. Like I said, I'd rather not hear about it. I want free shipping when I'm on eBay. Buy it now, free shipping. I want it at the market. And I want to hear about the fucking, oh, I had to put $25. Dude, what are you fucking wrapping this thing in goddamn cashmere? What the fuck's wrong with you? So, well, we're just going to be very safe about it. Look at this bitch go. So, half hour Charlie got it. 2 dojis. Last train in Clarksville here. Hard up for a half hour. Can we take out the high of Asia? Sellers are going to come in like crazy up here. We'll see a huge reversal as soon as we dip into the seller's window. That wouldn't be not unexpected. So we'll see price action there. Big spike, big rip back. I would definitely be cashing out into the seller's window. It only makes sense. Well, so that's what that Sam Seidel uses, is supply and demand zones. Yeah, see, above here will be the either supply or demand. Well, it's one man's supply is another man's demand, I'm saying. Yeah, my neighbor's got 3 wives. He's a bigamist or a polygamist or whatever they call him. So he said I could have one. Look at this thing as it approaches the abyss to the north. Let me see if I can't dial in on that. So fix the scale. We want to see what it looks like when it hits the, blows this bid out, or this ask out. I wish I could see the ask plotted. Well, it's toying with a blip, and that seller's got a hold of it. So I'd also have if you're flat, I got my buy limit sitting at the scene of the crime, which is a doji. That's the 5 minute. On the 1 minute, you're gonna have to wait till the top of the hour. So we are 1 minute. Okay, we are going to be. This is the 5 minute window, and here we'll be 6 minutes away from the bottom of the hour. In 15 seconds. So we pull back to the starting gate here. We will pull the trigger at the top of the hour. Or right now, we bought the stop hunt here. This wick. So you got to think about, and you got filled, you're in. So you're long right now. And maybe you did buy here and you're prepared to pull the trigger in another 50 seconds here, another minute, another 60, every 60 seconds. And then you could trade with a 3-pip stop and a 5-pip stop, and you could say, I'm following my trade plan. You're the one who makes the trade plan. You follow it. Yeah, you could trade 1 minute chart. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying, yeah, you're going to babysit this thing. You could still throw limits in there. you know, you realize your trades are going to last 8 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. 3 minutes, you just made money. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, be careful how you. Yeah, so. You should have bought at the top of the hour there. And maybe you, like I said, the rule is buy a lot, the more it's down. So you bought a lot 2 minutes ago, you just bought a little bit a minute ago. Now you have a top, become a bottom. Now you're back to the starting gate. And I wouldn't buy any more at the market unless it's down in the next minute. And you got pendings at the green line and below. And that's just how I trade. So if they come after my limits, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a nut crusher. I got limits here. And I could have a stop that's psycho wide on this ticket in here. But I mean, so size meets risk. I'm risking $10 because I have 50 pip stops on each 1K. And I can tighten those up later and risk $5. And like, I could just scalp out of this thing. And go, look at me. Look at me, I'm a trader. Then you do a rinse and repeat. And maybe you do put in limits now. You say, I'll put a 15-minute limit in that buys every 2 pips for the next 15 minutes of 3K. And then you put a stop, master stop on that. Then you wait. See if they fill you. Come back in 15 minutes. Now, what's happening is you're risking $5. Maybe you've moved your stops to 25 pips on each 1K. And now you're going, okay, the worst thing that can happen to me tonight, you have to accept the risk up front. So you accept, like, you just relax into it. It's still no big deal. And the guy that's freaking out on me seems like a real hyper, like too much coffee. He's trapped like Max Headroom in a loop of saying the same fucking phrase. Look at this beautiful, quiet, soft landing. This is the, oh God, Alan Greenspan trade. Look at this, another doji. Now this is a call to arms here. The 1 minute says, get the fuck in or sell. Put on a hedge. No hedging unless we get into a very tight range. So if we read the data on that, let's see, how would I do that? I just use my trusty rectangle. Oh shit. Cannot draw. So this is the algorithm. The computers could handle this shit, like while you're sleeping. How come I can't see a pip amount there? Somebody tell me you got to go to the cursor. Go to the crosshair? The crosshair. Okay, so that's... Oh, that's time. So, that is pretty tight. 1 pip. That's 1/10 of a pip. So here's 2/10 of a pip. A 1 minute body at 2/10 of a pip would trigger a robot that could, or a person you'd execute here, right? The preceding candle, although it may look to you as if it's substantial here, and this is where framing and being too microscopic is double-edged sword, so I'm pure microscopic. This is as zoomed in as MetaTrader will let me go. And I could have a buy limit here. If the spread could go to 0, they'd fill me. And it can't, and not to mention this here is 0.4 of a pip. And it looks huge, but not when you go like this, right? So on the 1 minute chart, there's this world, and you're like, holy shit, that thing really went up. That's the 1 minute chart. Clean up. Wave 1, 2 would be on the 30-second chart pullback, and 3. This would be wave 4. So you could also count Elliott waves. I think you can have a 30-second chart in MT5 too. So if you're all hyper scalper, maybe you have a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50-second chart all the way up. And you can see the cascading of the breakout starting to trip the wire, because you can't see it here. 1 minute chart is too long of a time frame if you've ever scalped. Multiple time frames very tight to each other, right? Because you would see the fractal. There's a Williams on the 6-second chart. There's a fractal as it cuts in here and cleans into this vacuum. And here's the cash out point. People are like, I'm out, I'm out of something here. But that's how you got to play. No doji now. That's how you got to play it. And maybe you're flat now. Or maybe you're just stepping in now, long or on a hedge. Buy and sell here. But if we take this high out, we start to cascade up. So everything's open. Asia's open full tilt. And Europe's going to open. So are we going to rally and keep cutting north into the European Open? Now here, to get perspective, we'll go to the half hour. But we're never going to put more than this many bars on the screen. I think it's a big problem. And if you're thinking about going to the monthly, realize that it's about how many pips you're going to risk. So the monthly boys have big fat stops in. And they bought last month like a whore. And that SEAL Team 6 goober, who doesn't understand that auction theory blows away his market maker. The guy's a fucking goober. You just have to hang in there. So here's the topic come about of failure in a way. But we did revisit the body, the lack of volatility, open to close. And really no fill there either, though. No precise fill, that is. What else we got? Here's the floor on closing. This hard down candle. I would definitely take something off the table there. Look at this beautiful buy right here on the going on the tick chart. Look at this baby. That's ripe for the pickings. So if your buy limit was sitting here, you got filled. Buy sitting here, you got filled. You definitely got a nice fill on that. Beautiful. Trapped traders by if you're placing your buy stops on bid, you have a buy stop here. They fill you. You're slightly, you're underwater now, and then maybe you put a stop here that stopped you out, but if you didn't, you could have made this. So all this is, this guy, Rimdim, doesn't realize there's people trading around him that it's just like they're in, they're out, they're done for the day. It's just so many people are in this pool. It's not one guy. It's not big boys against little boys. Like I said, it's not retail guy meets Goliath or whatever. The great giant meets Goliath. So, right, everybody's in here. And, right, it's a big swimming pool. So, what else? If you look at the 1 minute chart again, so that's fun, right? From going the monthly to the 1 minute, you can see a little problem here, right? The 5 minute doesn't exist. So all that Achilles Stokes, this is your grandiose, big picture, big boy view. Like, wow, look at these 2 monthly fucking, look at that breakout strategy on the doji. The fucking shit does work. Yeah, it looks fucking beautiful on here, dude. Here's a trap. But this is a nice continuation. This is the ultimate. Comeback retest, doji, slight pullback, mini vacuum, keeps pounding. Takes a breath. Pound. Takes a breath. Climax. Trap. Kind of trap there. Big giant buys. Big. The further back the vacuum, the more important it is. This was a very important vacuum. And the big boys bought into that on limits, and they don't care that they overpaid. They're like, yeah, it's coming back. It's a coming back. This is their ultimate scenario. Don't forget, there's the bad scenario for the bulls, and they keep cleaning this house after house after house. You're just next on the list. Oh, looks like the seller's got it. If you didn't cash out up here, then you had to take something off the table there. Right there. I'm saying, because if you paid this, that was your profit. Right. Right there. The confirmation guy has a buy stop here. He's kind of pissed. He's like, those motherfuckers. He put his stop right here, and he's like, they're going to stop me out again. Fuckers. They just stopped me out. Right? Can you see that trade? Like I said, if you trade small, then you're like, okay, I think they tricked me. Do you have a buy limit here, buy limit here? Or you're like, fuck you fuckers, I'm buying right there. I just got filled. I'm so clever. And it won't be up in the trade till this blue line hits this blue line. You mean like hockey? So yeah. Anyways, that's my I hope there's audio on this thing. I won't upload unless there is. That's kind of funny. It's like saying to somebody, are you sleeping? Well, not now, fucker. Jesus.